26th, 2022. Do. Let's open with a deep into Under Mountain and then lay your head down and dream.
One evening as the sun went down and our cooking coals were glowing, down the path came a party hiking, and they said, folks, we're all going. We're yearning for a portal far away in a tavern full of shouting. So join us, friends, and let's descend deep into Under Mountain, deep into Under Mountain. There run dungeons hot and cold, where the monsters surge and pushes, and the youngest runes are old, where the mimics all lie waiting, and the goblin werebats roost, all the wisps and wasps and the mezzo-loss, the hidden pit where we'll all plummet deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, all our blades will sing like choirs, as our arrows strike like drum beats, and our green flame pops and pyres. Our barbarian will stomp a brood as the rogues dance shadow play. Oh, we're sworn to go at a great tempo. We'll chant our spells as we now delve deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, you'll always find new gear, and your old mundane accoutrement can be handed down, don't fear. The magic items you'll attune and the artifacts you'll find. There's armor with gems and weird potions and a propeller hat that lets you ascend deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, the mad wizard stood gates so folks can open portals. He left clues to activate. He has a thing for puzzles and he likes to throw his voice. We're going to delve to where he dwells, to the lowest tower, to seek his power deep into Under Mountain. I'll see you there, the lowest lair, deep into Under Mountain.
The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Just let your mind flow downstream, sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And tonight, y'all are my live streaming audience. I hope you are having a fantastic day today. I'm realizing... Howdy, Corrales. Oh, I didn't even realize Corrales was online. Oh, and Asuma, too. This is what I get for doing all this setup. Real quick, though, I need to mute my mic and move the boom so I can read the chat slightly easier. I still have things set up for a different chair yesterday. Well, actually, wait, what if I just move... There we go. I fixed it. Welcome, Manatee Gag, Evan, Netta, Purple Dino, Grayski, Moth is Immortal, Ashia. Glad to have you all here in the Twitch and YouTube chats. Meanwhile, in the live event chat and Discord, NJ Coffee Junkie. Coffee. Howdy, NJ. Hope you're having a great day. We got some boards outside. Let me turn up the mic on the boards. There we go. We got a squirrel in the tree. When the squirrel smells my coffee, he comes and, like, hangs out in the tree. I think he thinks there's, like, hazelnut or something for him in it. Sometimes you hear these like weird scratchy leaf noises. That's an actual squirrel. It's funny. Before I started doing these streams, I would sit here with that window open all the time, and the squirrel never climbed up here. So, I think it's the coffee in particular that's attracting it. We also got some grackles out there today. Kind of here. Let's see. They're not quite as attractive. They're more aggractive, but that's okay. I'm trying to figure out, we need to build a nice little place for our bed and storage here. Because we have a ton of shulkers. We have 20 shulkers worth of stuff that we need to... Okay, so the first thing I guess we need to do is we need to start digging. So, for those of y'all who have seen my pinball machine, that's 256 blocks deep and 128 blocks wide, colossal scale pinball machine. I've been working on it for my mega base this season. You might have noticed that I realized that if I wanted to show off the underside of the machine, like where the subwoofer grill is and stuff like that, I'm going to need to dig out some underneath the machine. And that seemed like a good idea. However, I realized if I was going to do that, it was going to take a while. So I started blasting out parts of the deep slate, because you can't use haste beacons on deep slate, right? But you can use TNT. So I was like, I'll just dig down to the deep slate layer and use some TNT. And then y'all were like, Joe, you should barter with Jevin. Because, like, it seems like this is a lot of TNT worth of diamonds that you're trying to gather in order to just buy more TNT to dig. You're digging through deep slate to blow up deep slate. Like, there's got to be a better way. So I contacted Jev, and I'm like, Jev, buddy, what do you need from a bartering standpoint? What could I give you to get 200 stacks of gunpowder? Which is a lot. That's a fair amount of gunpowder. That's not me just saying, like, hey, I'm a few diamonds short, can I grab a stack or two? That's 200 stacks. What's that worth to you? And he's like, well, I need a lot of sand. And I'm like, okay, so 200 stacks of TNT, or sorry, 200 stacks of gunpowder. How much sand is that worth to you exactly? And he's like, I don't know, 20 shulker boxes. I haven't done the math on this. Let's see, an individual stack of gunpowder would have been 2 diamonds. So, so that's basically 10 stacks of gunpowder is worth 1 box of sand, is what he's saying. Which would be 20 diamonds. I think I could fill 1 box of sand quicker than I could find 20 diamonds. So, I think that that's valid. I think that that's valid. Max says, I have a theory the word for squirrel in any given language is one of the hardest for non-native speakers to pronounce. And Evan Netta says, that's really true. We call it a shnachai in Hebrew. Well, and somebody else says, shnachai, that doesn't sound that difficult to say. Well, maybe I'm saying it really poorly. Maybe it actually is very difficult to say. So, anyway. So, basically, what I'm betting here is I can gather 1 box of TNT... Or, sorry, 1 box of sand faster than I could gather 20 diamonds. The corollary to that is I'm guessing that I could gather 20 boxes of sand quicker than I could get 400 diamonds. That sounds right. I don't think if Jev said, Joe, come back to me with 400 diamonds, that I could do that in as reasonable amount of time as I can do this. Okay, well, I'm looking at this here now real quick. Now we need to put in one of these, and we need to get a bed out of here. Yeah. I mean, like, one of the best times to learn a language is as a very small child. And even though my parents weren't Jewish, the church that we went to had a like very long wait list for the preschool, but the Jewish preschool, they had room for us right away. So I actually went to Jewish preschool. I don't know any Hebrew today, really, but yeah, like I don't find it hard to like it doesn't seem as I guess I would say maybe inaccessible as some other languages. It because I encountered it when I was young. It sounds more natural to me, even if I can't do anything with that feeling. Mima Sweet says, "How is Jewish preschool any different?" Well, for example, if you went to like a Christian preschool, they would celebrate like Christian holidays and tell like Bible stories or something. But at a Jewish preschool, you know, they would have celebrations for Jewish holidays. Like, so you would do, so your arts and crafts, instead of like, oh, let's make Christmas trees, it'd be like, let's make something to celebrate the Passover. That sort of thing, right? It's not really that different at all, because 90% of preschool is not holiday-based arts and crafts. Probably 95% of preschool is share toys and be nice to each other. Learn to follow the rules and listen to instructions, you know? Mima says, I'm Christian, but I guess I went to an agnostic preschool. An agnostic preschool would mean a preschool where the instruction is based around the idea that it's unknowable whether or not God exists. Which is, I think a secular preschool where they just assume God doesn't exist or that God is irrelevant to their teaching because of state requirements would make more sense than an agnostic preschool. It's like we're gonna really get into the weeds about the unknowability of God's existence. It sounds like a secular preschool is probably just what you mean. But the idea of an agnostic preschool is really funny to me. You can be agnostic and secular. Yeah, but like if you're marketing a preschool, what I'm saying is if you're marketing a preschool for parents, right? And you're like, this preschool will help introduce your children to the Christian faith tradition, and will teach Bible stories and stuff like that. That's a clearer sell than this preschool will introduce your child to the agnostic school of scholarship around the existence of God. We'll explore the concepts of what makes God unknowable. Like, ZB, apparently, I'm technically Catholic, but went to a Jewish preschool 20-odd years later. I don't really remember anything specific about it. I mean, that's the thing, is I don't really remember much specific about, you know, anything from my youth. Like, it's just bits and pieces here and there. But, like I said, one of the long-term things, though, is that, like, for me, because I was young and being introduced to a language, like, because there was occasional Hebrew and stuff in some of the holiday things, like, there wasn't, like, formal language instruction or anything, but, it just, Hebrew sounds familiar to me in a way that reminds me of being, a happy child, and so I find it, like, whereas some languages I hear it, I'm like, I have no idea what that means. Like, what? I feel overwhelmed. I don't feel overwhelmed, I just don't know what it means. I feel comforted and ignorant instead of overwhelmed and ignorant. Oh no. Yeah, I guess so. The I've got the filters on the window mic setup to block out a lot of street noise. But that's all by... In order to avoid getting rid of the bird songs, I basically get rid of the low end of the EQ. But those sirens are not on the low end. So sorry if all of a sudden it's like, wow, Joe, how come the road is so loud all of a sudden? The road is always there. It's not usually full of fire trucks and ambulances. Evan says, why are there so many words for lions in Hebrew? It's weird. Well, maybe there's a lot of lions. You know, that matters. The more snow you have around, the more words your language has for snow. Kimberly Baviera says, anyone else have plans for this weekend? Yeah. So, just as a reminder, there's no stream tonight, because I have plans with my daughter. She just finished 4th grade yesterday, and so we are enjoying some of her, we're kind of celebrating the end of the year. So no stream tonight. She's actually sleeping in right now. Normally she wakes up early to like watch TV or whatever, play video games. She's like, you can't track my screen time if I wake up before you. But she's already in summer break mode and has actually slept in. I was like, I gotta wake up to do that morning stream anyway, since I'm skipping the nighttime one. But you know what? She's gonna be up, so I'll just check on her and see how she's doing. She's doing asleep. Yeah, no stream on Monday either for Memorial Day. I will be streaming Saturday night and Sunday night, though. Conjurod says, I'm currently learning my Jewish prayers before I convert, and it's a struggle bus for me. Well, is that the only Hebrew language study you're doing? Because I would imagine that would be easier. It'd be easier to memorize those and learn those if you complemented that with broader linguistic study, right? Like, if somebody was like, I want to memorize a bunch of Japanese poems, I'd probably say it might help if you learned some Japanese in general, so that way the meaning will help you memorize stuff. Like the word associations, you'll remember like, oh, this follows into this because that makes sense, you know. Because just having somebody explain like what the meaning or significance of the prayer isn't going to be as helpful as like understanding of what the sentences in the prayer say. If that, like, there's a distinction there. Like having both would be better. But, like, if that's the only part of the language you're studying, like, you kind of miss out on some stuff from the broader thing. This is a sand farm. It's free range. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of work our way around here. We're up to 2 boxes. One of them was filled yesterday, though, so that's not necessarily an accurate measurement of how long a box takes, but that's not an accurate measurement of how long 2 boxes take, but the first box that we just are nearly filling only had a few stacks in it from last night. So the short version of this is way faster than mining 400 diamonds to buy that. Welcome, Muscle Bob. Do the Muscle Bob hop. Look, the bunnies are doing it. Muscle Bob hop. Okay, so we are going to go lay our heads down and dream here before the mobs start spawning. Grab a cup of coffee. Let's go ahead and check. We got our first PayPal tip of the day. Let's see who that's from. It's from Faulty and Muscle Bob. Writing, keep adventuring, funding from Faulty75 and Muscle Bob 2. Do. Please direct your attention down here to slot 9 where I'm putting the hot in the hot bar so I can say, howdy y'all, Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee, dee-da-dee-da-dee. Thank you very much, Muscle Bob and Faulty75. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. And that puts us only 20 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. So let's go ahead and keep working on this. I really did think that I brought some torches with me, but maybe I did not. That was an oversight if so. Okay, so we're already on to box 3, though. That's good. That's a good sign. Muscle Bob writes, you are welcome as ever, Joe. Well, thank you. I gotta say, we really hit the lottery last night on our raid. Like, sometimes when I go to raid people, because I streamed extra late since it wasn't a school night, even though I knew I had to get up for this stream. I was like, it's a big difference between having to, like, get up to go out of the apartment and, like, it's like, I can shower after the stream, which I kind of prefer to do anyway, because it helps me clear my head, but you know, it's like I don't have to go be around people first. Yay. So we streamed later than usual last night, so I was like, oh no, nobody I know is live that I haven't like already raided so many times it's gonna start looking creepy. And so I was like, well, let's roll the dice on some new streamer that I haven't seen before. And I just like, okay, let's see. It looks like 2 people playing pinball together. The thumbnail makes it look like they're having fun. That's always good. You know, I click through. It's like the guy's like, oh, I'm an animator for The Simpsons. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, let's go ahead and raid him or whatever. And it turned out it was him and his wife. And I love streams with more than one person in them, because it's just, like, I don't know if you've seen my shows with Quinn, but it's just kind of, it's got a fun, casual vibe to it when you start having more than one person on camera. But no, it was really cool. Apparently he just happened to he's been streaming for a year, but he always streams at times I don't see, because of, like, the way my schedule works out. It was just a fluke that I was awake at all last night, because he's on Pacific time. But, yeah. He actually, like, brought out, like, one of his, animation cells signed by Matt Groening from, the episode with the chili cook-off, which was really cool. Mostly, he wasn't talking about his work. He was mostly, in the same way that, like, you know, when I was working as a developer, I might have occasional stories about my day job, but, like, you know, I'm here to play Minecraft or whatever and not talk about my job. But, no, it was very entertaining. I would imagine even if you're just even if you're not part of the core writing staff, if you're an animator on The Simpsons, you still probably have to have a pretty good sense of humor to figure out, like, visual gags. Because I'm sure that not all of the visual gags in the show are pitched by the writers. Some of them probably are, but, you know, there might be a scene where they send it over and the animator says, hey, could we do this in the background? Or, you know, would this be funnier if it looked like that, you know? But, Yeah, so it was fun watching him and his wife play Godzilla, while Sarif, who's a pinball streamer as well. Sarif was in the chat explaining the like far deep mode tips and tricks for Godzilla. Because like in Godzilla, I don't think I've gotten far enough to like even change cities more than a few times, because the tournaments I play in, they keep the machines like set up really hard, like steep pitch, like short ball save, that sort of thing. And so because when you're running a game for tournaments, you really don't want to have the matches run more than 20 minutes. So if one guy is playing a ball for like 45 minutes, it's gonna hold up the entire 46 people in the tournament, you know. So they have to keep the machine set up pretty fierce. So yeah. You can craft while watching the stream, Princey. That's always an option. Yeah, Wednesdays are when I get to craft. Y'all get to craft anytime that you can. Alex Bernstein says you can adjust the pitch on a pinball machine. Yep. There's screws on the feet that you can use to adjust the pitch up and down, forward and back. And you can also adjust it left and right if the floor is uneven. Although you really want to play on an even floor as much as possible. Because the, what do you call it? You're going to nudge the machine around, and if the floor is, like, really uneven in a wobbly way, that's going to be a problem. Evan Netta says, I'd like to try pinball whenever I go to Scotland next month. Well, awesome. Good luck. There's, if you Google pinball map, there's a pinball map website. It's not always completely up to date, but if you find a location that has 5 machines, probably 3 or 4 of them will be working at any given time. If you go to a location that only has 1 machine, there's a chance that that one might be down that day, because even though they really try to over-engineer the heck out of these things, it's got a 95-mile-an-hour steel ball bearing flying around inside of it, whacking stuff. So you're gonna be near Glasgow. I haven't actually been to Scotland yet. I only just got to London, like, I was gonna say last month, but might be a little while longer now. Time is weird. Oh boy. Cannot wait to go back, but right now I have no idea when that would even be feasible financially. Things will be so much simpler once this immigration process is through. I really am looking forward to being able to see my fiance every day. Hey, Narissa. Thanks for joining. If you have to lay your head down and dream, feel free to do so. But I appreciate you popping in while you can. Yeah, the steel ball bearings inside of a pinball move, they come off the flipper at 95 miles an hour. So, like, if you go to a bar that has 1 pinball machine, there's a non-zero chance that machine will just be broken that day, because all pinball machines spend some percentage of their life broken. They have to be constantly repaired and upkept. But that's part of the fun of them, in my opinion. They're one of the only user-serviceable electronics that still exists. So I can teach my kid about, like, taking care of machines and stuff if we're finally able to afford one someday. Because when we've been renting them, I haven't really let my kid do much work on them with me, because when something goes wrong, it's somebody else's machine, and I really feel a strong obligation to do it myself at that point. Alexa Boy says, intellectual property? Yeah, sure. Some pinball machines are based on different IP. Some of them are just vaguely themed, like Oktoberfest is just roughly German holiday themed. Space Shuttle is not like a official licensed intellectual property. But then for a machine like Pulp Fiction or The Godfather, they actually do have to get like the rights to the movie, The Big Lebowski. But I mean, Total Nuclear Annihilation isn't technically a licensed IP because Scott Denisi wrote all the music himself, but it is basically a music pin where you play through the album that he wrote. But like, not every pin needs to be licensed by Warner Brothers. How do you manufacture the connection between the playfield and the back box? So remember, so inside my pinball machine, you know when we look up in the cabinet and you see that there's like two circles and a square, and I keep calling those the conduit holes. All of the cables, all the connections between the playfield and the back box run up through those holes in conduit. And those cable conduits are flexible and they have some slack to them so that, you know, nothing gets pulled out. Yeah, go to bed aggressively. Just fly right into your bed. Forget flopping into bed. Elytra in. Can you get the Minecraft server intellectual property? You would have to talk to Mojang Legal. That is... I have not bothered. It's not been worth it to me. But, I mean, you could try. But, yeah, they've got some sort of forum on their website for cold calling them. I've heard that's not... You're not likely to get a response unless... See, the problem is, if you're somebody that's, like, a big deal, like Lego, you don't need to fill out the intellectual property form on their website. You just already have a contact at Mojang, because you're like, what up, buddy? We both went to Sweden's most prestigious university. Ha! Except, like, with a Swedish accent. Hello! We went to the prestigious university, didn't it? That sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's just going to be my Swedish accent from now on. It's just a British accent, except instead of saying in it, I'll say didn't it. Welcome, Moth Matey. Glad you could join us on the Twitch chat. I don't think that's what an oxymoron is. Shun Macaroon says, hot take, Minecraft Legos are an oxymoron. Is your hot take that you're redefining the word oxymoron to include any level of redundancy? Are you saying that, like, automated teller machine, or if you say ATM machine, that's an oxymoron? That's not an oxymoron. That's just repetition, right? That's a pretty hot take rolling in there with that definition of oxymoron. I will give you that. Okay, we're doing okay on shovel. Got some cute little Tweety birds outside, it sounds like. Master Manager 10 says, what are you doing? I asked, so I need like 400 diamonds worth of gunpowder to make TNT to excavate a new mine entrance. I have an idea for a really cool looking mine entrance. and I started digging it out by hand, and I realized that that was a bad idea. And then I was like, well, I'll just gather 400 diamonds to buy the gunpowder for the TNT. And then I'm like, no, that's a bad idea. Let's talk to Jevin and see what does he need for upcoming projects. And he is willing to give me 200 stacks of gunpowder in exchange for 20 boxes of sand. Now, I can definitely gather 20 boxes of sand way faster than I can gather 400 diamonds. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna grab this inventory. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 complete boxes already out of 20. So we're a fifth of the way there, and I haven't even finished my coffee yet.
Whoa, Baka, wait. Morning, y'all. I was driving to Maine when Joe was streaming last night, and I'm still driving now.
Oh, Woobaka, I hope you are having fun listening to the stream and not looking at it. Feel free to, you know, turn your back to the navigation app in your phone so you don't have me swinging shovels distracting you. Erdariel is talking about in the Twitch chat building a model of Rivendell in Minecraft. That'd be cool. I find the most fun things to build in Minecraft are things I want to learn more about or want to read more about. So yeah, if you're like, oh, I love Lord of the Rings, I want an excuse to go really look at some of the choices that were made in the various, like, artwork about it. Like, what are the earliest paintings of Rivendell? Are there cool things that they did in the earliest paintings of Rivendell that weren't feasible to do in the Lord of the Rings movies? Let's check out this cool fan art from, like, you know, 1950, or these book covers from 1950, right? Yeah. Doing a replica of the movies is interesting if you want to learn about how they did it. Because I find building models of things helps me understand the thought processes of the people who built the originals better. And that's a great exercise. But, like, yeah, for you, if you're like, I want to go down this rabbit hole of Tolkien art, you're like, oh, Tolkien himself had a few sketches. Yeah. Go check those out. Like, Incurious says, what happens if you and the other hermits completely mine out the mining desert? Do you find another one? Yep. That's part of the fun for when the world download goes out, is that people can come wander around our mining deserts and just be like, wow. Look at all this sand. A lot of sand went into this. Like, because that's part of what makes us kind of different, too, from a creative mode server, right? You know, y'all can come in and see the impact we have ecologically. Is there a... So I've actually named all 20 of these shulkers sand for Jev. I know it's not a funny joke, but it helps me keep track of the fact that there's 20 of them. I mean, it's Minecraft. There's always another desert. It might not be convenient to get to it, but by this point in the season, we have, you know, we can do piston roads and stuff if we really want it. Pug the Master, the sand is to barter to Jevin. It would have been... I basically need 400 diamonds worth of gunpowder to make TNT. And Jevin needs a ton of sand. Ironically, even once I get all the sand for Jevin, I'm still going to need sand for myself so I can make the TNT. I think the grackles outside are fighting. Yeah, Mahi Zero says specifically I need 6 more shulkers of sand for myself. That's fine. It's not like I'm going to be tired of gathering sand. Because, like, gathering sand is like walking. It's just something you do while doing other things, kind of. Like, I'm just hanging out talking to people about Rivendell and stuff. I can read a book if I get tired. It's fine. Drew Baca says, I'm audio only, I promise. Okay, well, drive safe, Drew Baca. Wishing you a safe trip to Maine. We can only sleep at night or during thunderstorms. Thunderstorms. Oops. Thunderstorms. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We've got 4 boxes complete already. 5 boxes complete, so that's a quarter of the way there. And we'll prepare to swap out another shovel, but we don't quite need it yet. You're eventually gonna need more food, but we got some of that in the thing. I need to teach Skiz how to play a game and read chat. Sarcasm. Well, the thing is, I mean, Skiz, I think, works on a very highly focused day job. Like, where he should never divide his attention. So, I don't blame him for... I'm not good at day jobs that require highly focused attention. It's a different skill set. The fact that I can't keep my brain quiet or in one place makes it easier for me to jump between reading 3 or 4 things. Welcome, Bly. Glad you could join us. But yeah, different people play games different ways. Different people run streams different ways. It's all cool. It's a pretty big, dark area down there. Oh. Well, I don't like that. Please stop impaling me with arrows. Thanks. La da 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 dun dun dun. Drew Baca says, thanks for bookending the drive. I spent most of the rest of the drive listening to D&D actual plays. Oh, awesome. Yeah, when I'm going on long drives by myself, I'll usually pull up Acquisitions Incorporated. I've been listening to that, like, literally since it debuted. I remember the blog post. It's like, what? They're doing a D&D game with Scott Kurtz? Oh my gosh. I was so excited. And I was correct to be excited. But yeah, D&D actual plays are a good drive listen. Yeah, I started listening to, well, re-listening to Andy Ware's Project Hail Mary on the drive back from the Clydesdale ranch we were hanging out at last weekend, and my daughter was like, "Whoa, this is actually really good." This is like the first book on tape I've listened to that she was actually like interested in. So when I drive her to camp, we'll listen to some more of it on later this weekend. Boy, the year's just flying by. How's this shovel doing? I should probably check on that. It's probably got about 80 uses left. I really don't want to make a bunch of extra trips to the place. The end. So we're going to be cutting this a little fine. I'm trying to just look at the shovel and not look at the chat, because I can... That's what gets me, is when I stop looking at the shovel to start looking at the chat. That's when tools break. Okay, let's... 107 left. That's 1/15th. Okay. Of the entire thing. Yeah. I am getting nervous about how much you're typing, Drew Baca. that part I'm questioning. Enjoy the show, but I guess you can dictate things into a phone these days, but still. Please keep your eyes on the road and be safe. It was like one or two messages I could be like, okay, well, maybe Drew Baca is at the rest stop or whatever right now. Just, but like, if you're continuously talking the entire drive, I get a little like, dubious face. Lakshmi13 says, you're re-listening to Project Hail Mary, but she's not. No, she's not. Is she ready for the emotional part? I don't know if Caliphant would be ready for that. I was barely ready for that. I mean, there's several parts of the book I would consider the emotional part, but I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, I mean, I don't. It's been about 2 years since I read it. I'm not sure that there's any part that's so emotional I wouldn't consider my child ready for it. But that makes me worry that like I'm forgetting something important, because there's a lot of ups and downs in the books, but like, there's him grieving the rest of his crew, but like, my daughter's old enough, she's had grandparents pass away and stuff like that. There's definitely some surprises in the book that could be considered negative and upsetting. Like, they're upsetting to the main character, but I don't think they're the sort of thing that would disturb a child. Like, because, like, the character comes into this with his memory messed up, and so he knows that he doesn't know everything. And so, yeah, there's revelations throughout the book that can have various types of emotional impact as he's getting his memories back. And arguably the one at the end of the book is the most climactic, but that's how you structure a novel. But I don't think that would be inappropriate for a child. Lakshmi13 says, I was in tears. Well, the thing is, though, like, that's art should provoke emotion. There's a difference between art provoking emotion in a child or an adult, or a book provoking a strong response in a reader. Like, I don't want my daughter to only read books that don't provoke any emotional response. That'll discourage her from reading books, right? Like, there's a difference between, like, something being like, wow, that's a really powerful story. I don't know if a child is ready for something that powerful. It's like, versus, like, oh, that, the subject matter is too mature, right? Like, I don't consider it mature subject matter. It's just a well-written, emotional climax to the story. Does that make sense? That's what part of what makes it a good book. You know, a lot of what makes it a good book is it's got a lot of fun engineering puzzles and math and science stuff, which is what caught her attention. But Emperor, that's kind of like asking if you can ask a question. We don't do communication loops like that here. You could take a second to read the rules. 'Cause Narissa Yaps says, what kind of genres do you like to read, Joe? Well, for fun, I really enjoy science fiction and fantasy. Like, just for, like, you know, chill, like, vacation reading, or while I'm driving. I also like, whoops. I like memoirs. Memoirs that are narrated by the person who wrote them are particularly good. Let's go ahead and put these boxes up. I guess it wouldn't technically count as a memoir. It's more of a history, but Clint Smith's How the Word Was Passed is basically it's a history book, but it's framed with him personally visiting several sites that are related to slavery. And the best historians are going to be going places and pulling records and things like that, but they don't necessarily talk about the process of those visits too much. They just, you know, okay, I went to the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania and found this church and went through their filing cabinet, right? But Clint Smith explicitly went out of his way to visit places that were important in the history of slavery, and he talked about like how they present themselves in contrast and comparison to the actual histories of the place. And so what was his experience like visiting these places, you know, going through their basic tour versus, like, you know, here's what happened here. Like, here's why they probably kind of, you know, streamlined some of that, but this part of the narrative deserves attention too, right? And Clint Smith is both a fantastic writer and a fantastic speaker. And so him doing his book on tape himself, you know, when he says, you know, I looked across the fields and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's, you know, he's delivering his own experience very powerfully. The book is called How the Word Was Passed by Clint Smith. Let me... That's a really good, if you're looking for something to listen to while you're driving, or something good to read. There's a link to it. I don't. This is not like a referral link or anything. That's just my local bookstore. I don't like giving Amazon links, so I decided that anytime that I'm gonna reference a book and people need to be able to like find the ISBN number and stuff, I'm just gonna link to my locally owned bookstore. Nashville represent, you know. You probably wouldn't want to order it from these guys directly, but this has all the information you need to order it from your local bookstore. Without the temptation of just ordering it from Amazon, because I posted an Amazon link. You're welcome, Moth Matey. Now let me pull. But yeah, so for sci-fi and fantasy, I really enjoy like Brandon Sanderson, who he's pretty well known in the fantasy circles these days. Slightly less well known, Dennis E. Taylor. I really enjoyed his Bobaverse books in particular. His Outland books are a little rough around the edges, but the science fiction conceit of them, about being able to access, like, basically the two nearest alternate realities is interesting. He does some fun stuff with that, where it's like, oh, you can make a portal to an alternate Earth, but the problem is the portal comes out wherever you are. And so, like, a lot of the book is them, like, moving their portal rig, driving around to different places so they can get to different places in the alternate Earth. Because there's interstates here, and there aren't there. But, like, also, they can go into the alternate Earth to then open a portal back into our Earth inside of a prison. You know, that sort of thing. Because there's no prison in that location on that side. So, like, the book is a little bit rough around the edges with some of the characterization. I like the Bobaverse books' characterization a lot better. But I can tell Dennis Taylor is getting better at it as he goes. And so I'm excited to see what he does next. He's definitely more up and coming. Like, I mean, he's a full-time author, but like I'm really this is not to put down his Bobaverse books or anything. Like, I really like his Bobaverse books, but like he's definitely somebody, like, some people you can kind of tell when they've plateaued as artists, and you're like, okay, that guy's gonna keep making consistently good stuff, right? But like when I pick up a new Dennis E. Taylor book, each time I'm like, he's still getting better. Like, he's only been publishing his work for about a decade, and he's still getting better. And that's exciting to me, because when I already like somebody's work and they're still getting better, like, it shows, you know, he's not just resting on his laurels. He hasn't just said, okay, good enough, I'm plateauing, right? And so then, like, when I pick up a new book, it's not just like, oh, I'm curious what the story is this time. I'm curious, ooh, how does he write the story? Yeah, Project Hail Mary was written by Andy Weir, the same guy who wrote The Martian. We were talking about him earlier. Let me pull up my... I'm going to pull up my audiobook library real quick to see if I have anything else I could recommend people for driving. I just listened to the Hugh Howey Silo series on audio. That was very well read. I listened to Murakami's Novelist as a Vocation essay collection. I really liked the... Whoa, that's a creeper. The narrator they had for that was good. And that's basically a collection of essays that Murakami wrote about being a novelist. And as somebody who works in creative arts, even though I'm not a novelist, I found that particularly interesting to listen to. A lot of it's stories about him traveling Japan and traveling the world, and how experiences shaped him as a writer. And, like, it's really important, even if your job is something you do in front of a typewriter or a computer, you gotta get out there and connect with people. Hey, morning, Rex. Morning, Delg. Morning, NB. Yeah, Yeah, I'm not saying Murakami is a perfect novelist by any means, but what I'm saying is his essays about being a novelist and about working in the creative space are of particular interest to me. Let's see. I really like the Expanse series. I've talked about that many times before. They've actually, Daniel Abram, one of the two guys who makes up James S.A. Corey, actually has been working on a new fantasy series. Only the first book is out, but it's basically set in... If you enjoyed The Wire, you can tell that Daniel Abraham really enjoyed The Wire and was like, I want to do The Wire, but in fantasy Baltimore. And, it's interesting. That book is called Age of Ash. The first book in that series. Second book's not out yet. I feel like that series definitely has room to grow. I'm curious to see. He definitely kind of... You can tell he scoped the novel the way they scoped season 1 of The Wire. Where it's like, there's a whole city here, and we're gonna learn more about it as we go. So, I'm curious to see where he goes with that series. Sonic says, how much sand are you getting, bro? So I'm gathering 20 shulkers worth of sand to trade for gunpowder, because I need to make TNT. A lot of TNT. But I actually need 6 more shulkers worth of sand after I deliver these to make the TNT with the gunpowder I'm getting in exchange. So let's see, what else? Other stuff I could recommend. A lot of Brandon Sanderson in here. Oh, the Stonewall Reader. We're coming up on Pride Month. The New York Public Library has a fantastic collection of work that would, like, contemporary work from right before, during, and right after the Stonewall riots. So if you want to get a sense of what New York was like at that moment, the Stonewall Reader is really good. There's an audio version as well, so you can listen to those. A lot of those accounts are first-person accounts. I find first-person accounts work really well in audio form, whereas other types of histories don't necessarily. But yeah, so the New York Public Library Stonewall Reader, I strongly recommend. Let me see if I can find that. Okay. Then let's see what else have I got in here. Already talked about how the word is passed. Already talked about a bunch of stuff. Oh, John Lithgow's Poet's Corner was originally a book that came with a CD where you could listen to John Lithgow and his friends read John Lithgow's favorite poems. And so then when audiobooks came out on, like, computers and download, they just took the CD that came with the book and uploaded it, basically. But yeah, the Poet's Corner is a collection of poems from... That's just basically John Lithgow was like, I'm John Lithgow. I'm going to collect my favorite poems and talk a little bit about each and give a quick bio of the author. It's basically a great survey of poetry, a broad survey. You know, he'll be like, no, I don't think any particular poet has more than one poem in this collection. But yeah, that's pretty good. Let me see.
That is no...
Nope. Yeah, Yours Cruelly by Elvira is good. I tried listening to The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, but it's 126 hours long. I think I got 30-something hours into it, and I just needed to take a break. But William Gibson's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, like, you just... It's really hard to express concisely the scale of how screwed up the Roman Empire was. Which is why it took William Gibson 126 hours worth of audiobook to do it. But yeah. It's just like... So then they did this stupid thing. You might think that they would learn from that. But then 25 years later, they did more of this stupid thing. But worse this time. Because they did it bigger. Oh, sorry. Not William Gibson. Edward Gibson. No, not the Neuromancer guy. Yeah. Turns out the Roman Empire had problems. Yeah, they did have a republic. Thanks for noticing. What else have I got on here? Audiobooks that I might recommend. Do 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 do. Patrick Rothfuss stuff comes out really well in audiobook because it's designed to be told from first person. Yeah. Oh, The Disaster Artist is really good. Greg Sestero does a great job of reading The Disaster Artist. Nick Offerman's Paddle Your Own Canoe. He reads that himself. It's really good. But yeah, so like when I say like, oh, I find memoirs like Nick Offerman's Paddle Your Own Canoe and Greg Sestero's The Disaster Artist. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like people who work in creative fields talking about their experiences as creative people. In the same way those essays from Murakami about being a novelist. Like, I feel like people act like this YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and all this stuff is new. It's not. People have been rolling around, being interesting and artistic for a long time. And we can learn a lot from the successes and the failures of those people. If I come in here and I'm like, I'm doing something no one's ever done before. I'm playing Minecraft on a computer. Woo! That's gonna slow me down. He's putting out a new novella this year. Oh yeah, I saw about that. Yeah. No, the rise and fall, or the decline and fall of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire definitely was not written by the same guy or anywhere near the same time as Neuromancer. That was me misspeaking. Yeah, sorry about the confusion there. We are actually making some really good progress. Baka writes, Adam Savage's every tool a hammer is a really good listen. I haven't checked that out. That's the one of the Mythbusters guys, right? Or is that somebody else Savage? That's not Randy Savage. I think he's a macho man. Hey, Paperfish Studios. Welcome, Paperfish Studios sibling. Oh yeah, before I'm sending y'all off to go buy other people's books, just as a reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are 20 away from our second face camera expansion of the day. This is my big stream for the day because I'm spending the day with my daughter. So, if you were the sort of person who's like, well, maybe I'll tip tonight. Maybe tip now. I don't know. Think about it. Yeah. It is a very expensive time of year here. So, any help is appreciated. I just had to buy my kid new sneakers and a bunch of other stuff for camp. Which is just like, you know, you go into the store and you're like, okay, what do we got a list here, okay. Gotta get some more socks, gotta get a laundry bag. A laundry bag, yeah, that's not bad. That's like $4. Gotta get a padlock, okay, that's like $10. And, you know, by the time you go through the whole checklist for the camp, it's just like, that was over $100. How did... And my kid was just like, wow, I've never been on a shopping spree before. I'm like, this isn't a shopping spree. We're just going down the list. And then I'm looking at the receipt at the end, and I'm just like, okay. This was like... I guess you can have a spree without it being completely wanton and joyful. But, yeah. She's got everything she needs to go to her first overnight camp. I'm very excited for her. But yeah. Definitely appreciating tips. Rex Furry writes, Mythbusters would have been a very different show with Randy Savage as one of the hosts. I think you're right, Rex Furry. I think you're right. That's not what Rex actually sounds like. Rex actually has a great radio voice, but I can't do it. I'd be like, this is Rex Verdi from New Jersey, Tennessee. I was gonna say, I don't know where is New, I was like, from New Jersey, New England. I can't do the voice, and I can't remember what state New Jersey is in. Pro tip, it's in New Jersey. Yeah, we had to, it's like, okay, I gotta buy bug spray, I gotta buy sunscreen, I gotta buy hand sanitizer. It's just like, you know, you're going through this list, and it's like, okay, a few dollars here, a few dollars there, and then all of a sudden you're just like, ah! Yeah, Rex has a fantastic radio voice. I can't do it justice. So I just lean into the injustice. I put the in and I put the lean in, leaning into injustice. I don't know. Streamer brain, real thing. Okay, so that shovel's basically done. Have a good night, Note Queen, or day, wherever you are. Wherever you are, have a good one. I'm looking at Minecraft at the setting sun and thinking good night, though it might be morning for you. Do 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 do. Okay. This is going way faster than I thought. I'm really pleased. Oh, I forgot to say morning to Tango. Sorry, Tango. That'll be weird if I'm like, Korean joined the game. Good morning, Tango. I don't know also when Korean joined the game. Korean could have joined the game like 25 minutes ago. I've just not been... I'm like so focused on looking at my audiobook list. I really thought I brought 4 shovels. And somehow... Oh, yeah, there's the 4th. Okay. So, 3 shovels gets us a good way. If we had 5 shovels, we could actually maybe get the whole thing knocked in. Bama Girl says, almost no one came to the office today. Out of 30 people, we might have 5. I'm guessing, based on your name, you're working in the continental United States where they're celebrating a holiday. We have a 3-day weekend this weekend. Just as a reminder, I will not be streaming tonight because I got to take my kids somewhere. And then I will not be streaming on Monday because it's a federal holiday. I try not to stream on federal holidays because I remember when I was a up-and-coming streamer, how like I would get the day off work and be like, what? I can stream during the day? Whoa! And then people would be like, what, Joe, you're streaming in the middle of the day? I'm like, I know, it's so great. And they'd be like, I'd normally be watching famous streamer at this time, but they're taking the day off because it's a holiday. And I'm like, I'm taking the day off too. Yeah, let's stream. Woo! And like I wanna let other streamers have that joy who are currently working day jobs. You know, if they've got Monday off, I want to let them, you know, have a stream, and then y'all show up and are like, I'd be watching Joe Hills right now, but you know, don't name drop. You don't have to name drop me, but like, you know, the streamer I normally watch is taking the day off, so I can watch you, and then you know they can get to have like that midday streaming fun. Like, I don't know. So yeah, no morning stream on Monday, no newsletter on Monday either, because Tommy has the day off because it's once again federal holiday. So no morning stream on Monday, no afternoon stream on Monday, no evening stream on Monday. Monday is a day off, federal holiday for me. And if I don't force myself to take days off occasionally, I won't. But yeah, I've got a bunch of friends coming into town for the holiday weekend, so I'm excited to hang out with them on Monday. Delg says we don't want a burnt out Joe. I hate to break it to you, Delg, but I would say 90% of the time you've known me, I've been pretty burnt out. I'm actually, since the beginning of the year, I got rid of my freelance job, doing freelance development. So money has been a lot tighter, but I'm sleeping better, and like in the last month and a half or so, when I started forcing myself to do these 8 a.m. streams, basically I'm not like screwing up my sleep schedule by editing super late anymore. That's been bad for my editing schedule, because I haven't done a great job of finding time during the day to edit. I keep thinking I'm going to find time during the day to edit, but then I look around my apartment and I'm like, oh boy, all these things that I was too tired to do before, I really should do now. And so I'm kind of getting, like, sleep debt isn't just like, oh, my body is still tired because I'm behind on sleep. It's like my apartment has massive room for improvement because I'm behind on sleep. So like I'm clawing my way out of like an exhaustion hole right now. But yeah, getting rid of that freelance gig. Maybe not the best financially, but health-wise, I'm doing a lot better. So Delg says come to Pittsburgh. Hey, well, you know, there are sometimes there's some pinball stuff in Pittsburgh. Does anybody know? Oh, thank you for the kind words, Lakshmi13. I'm not sure which part of what I'm saying that was in relation to, but thank you. I appreciate the kind words. For all I know... Oh, wait, there's a timestamp there. Yeah, that was 3 minutes ago. I could have been saying anything 3 minutes ago. But yeah, Delg, there's at least one big pinball event in Pittsburgh every year. And yeah, that would be something we could maybe try to coordinate. I'm not sure if it's... I think it's in the fall. Pinball Perfection? Is that what it's called? Because there used to be a big thing called Pinburg, but that was canceled. But now there's like a smaller pinball thing up there. But yeah, I'm trying to get more into pinball streaming, and so like if I could try and find like if I could try to find like a business that has something to promote in pinball and like work their table, because like it wouldn't make sense for me to get a table myself at a pinball convention, but if I could find somebody who wants to like at least like help with my hotel costs or my airfare or whatever, you know, I'd be happy to sit at a table and work, you know, at the con for 8 hours a day or whatever. Pinball Perfection is the museum. They host the event. Ah, okay. She said that during the Memorial Day thing. That makes sense. Does the pinball event bounce around a lot? Depends on how much flipper control you have, really. The up-and-coming streamer. That makes sense. Hey, we got a tip rolling in. Let's see who it's from. Jeppe tips 20 and says, Happy Friday. Woo! That's going to get us evenly to our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. Expand Joe. Do. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, Papa World headquarters closed permanently. Yeah, they used to host Pinburg. And I think Pinburg's done for good. But there's also a bunch of stuff up in Ohio, like Cleepin and Cincinnati. I know that Ohio isn't, like, you know, as convenient as me coming to your hometown. But it is where Mr. Hardluck and Queen Dark Lady live, who are... Queen Dark Lady is one of my moderators who's frequently in the chat, and her husband, Queen Dark... sorry, not Queen Dark Luck. Mr. Hardluck. Queen Dark Lady and Queen Dark Luck. You know who I mean. Yeah, they do some of the Ohio pinball shows. And I've been wanting to go up there to hang out with them. So I'll let people know when I'm traveling to events like that. You don't mind driving like an hour for an event? Awesome. Yeah, because I would probably be flying in, and I don't like to rent a car. I like to just go to wherever I'm going. So it would not be easy for me to get... Although, actually, well, I say that. If I'm going to Ohio, I'm probably driving anyway, but... If I'm driving all the way up to Ohio, it's a stretch for me to drive an extra hour a few days later. I'm like, I'm done. Let me go home or rest. But yeah, I guess actually getting up to Pittsburgh wouldn't be insane. The big problem is that the weekends, you know, I have to get my kid to school on Monday, so I can't just take an extra day easily if I'm bringing her with me, or even if I'm leaving her at home, but my family's watching her. There's a big difference between, like, I'll drop you off at Grandma and Grandpa's house for the weekend and then go to Ohio, versus Grandma and Grandpa have to stay at our house, or our small apartment, to get you to school on Monday, right? Grandma and Grandpa like their house. they don't want to stay at our apartment and get you to school. So yeah, I'm pretty time constrained during the school year. The summer I'm not as much, but I'm not sure what the pinball scene looks like in Ohio during the summer. I think most of their stuff is around Thanksgiving though. That's a busy time of year for me. Queen Dark Lady says Cleepin is the same weekend as Tennessee Game Days this year, unfortunately. Ah, that does suck. Yeah, I gotta do Tennessee Game Days, though, because it's so close to the TCG launch, and it's a card and board gaming convention. So even if people haven't gotten their own TCG cards in the mail by then, hopefully I would have 2 decks from, like, the test run, so I could take those to TGD to play with people. Because, like, I don't want to count on... I can't guarantee when they'll ship to the whole sets to everybody. But I could try to bring 2 decks myself from the test, or the early runs. And then you come to a place where the only thing you hear, bum 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 bum, da 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 da, streaming. Emily Jane, thank you for the 5. Who writes, "Happy Friday." Woo! Happy Friday to you, Emily Jane. Thank you so much. No, Delg, you're not clogging the chat. Keep in mind, like, a lot of people who watch this show are, like, at work, or, like, doing arts and crafts, or playing games. So, like, yeah. You giving me someone to talk to doesn't slow them down any. Like, they're not, like, earlier, Lakshmi13 didn't fill in the blanks on that question I had because of crocheting. Like, people have their hands busy. Welcome, ABC Fruit. And New Butel says, yup, I'm at work. Okay. So we'll grab more sand. Sunflower Dragon says, as someone at work, I appreciate the conversation. Yay. ABC Fruit says, wow, his glasses are invisible sometimes. Well, the thing is, if your glasses aren't transparent, it's harder to see through them. Some people have tinted glasses, like sunglasses, but for computer work, I just don't find those ideal. Aurelia Navarez in the YouTube chat says, I'm cleaning and the company is excellent. Florence the Machine says, I'm cooking breakfast and listening in. Delg, if you actually do have something else to do, don't let me guilt you into staying, though. If you're like, I want to cook my breakfast, I'm just gonna excuse myself. You're always welcome to excuse yourself. I'm just letting you know you're not making any trubs. Hello to India Prajesh05. Glad you could join us today. But yeah, I am very excited to start traveling to conventions and stuff. Delg, do you attend any like sci-fi or like local sci-fi fantasy or gaming conventions? Because if there's anything like that in your area, like if I can find a way, like if it's a gaming convention, you know, if I can find a way to get them to invite me to do a panel or something, the trip becomes a business expense, and then it's tax deductible, even if I'm paying for part of it out of pocket. Like, even if it's not like a huge convention where they're paying me to come. There's Steel City, but that's mostly comics and anime. Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I love talking about travel to different places. I used to go to conventions all the time before my kid was born, and then I had to kind of slow down. And she's finally old enough that I can start going again, and occasionally letting my parents watch her and get her to school. Not all the time, but sometimes. Or I can bring her with me if it's close by enough. They're usually falling on bad weekends for you. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of relying on word of mouth to find out which conventions are worth going to, because honestly, it's hard to know. Like, word of mouth is everything in the local convention scene. I don't know why this person is rolling in with a random spam thing for somebody else. That's just not cool. Okay. Gray Phoenix says, doing math for exam while listening. Oh, you're studying or practicing the practice problems? That's cool. It's that time of year. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's see here. Got a PayPal tip rolling in. Let's see who that's from. It's from Len. Thank you, Len, for the 5, who says, thanks for keeping me company for breakfast. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You too, Len. I'm glad to hang out and get some stuff done while you're enjoying your meal. That's going to put us 10 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, I'm hoping to do Unplugged as well. If you haven't been to I mean, if you're trying to stay in the Marriott, yeah, like, that sells out really quick. I saw Gamma Liz talking about that. But, I mean, I've never actually stayed in the Marriott before. There's a ton of great hotels. I think I stayed in the extended stay about 2 blocks away once. And that one was nice because it was, like, apartment style, where it's like, ooh, you got a little microwave and whatever. Um, Doug says, I'm used to staying for free, but all my friends moved out of Philly. Oh, yeah, at that point, everything's going to seem more expensive. But, like, compared to Boston, oh my gosh, PAX East is just so pricey. And, like, you couldn't... It's like, if you're not staying in the convention hotel, you got to get a lift across town or take a shuttle. Like, there's a lot of stuff within walking distance of the Philadelphia Convention Center. Just make sure you're not on the wrong side of the Christmas parade route if it's the same weekend as the Christmas parade. Sometimes it is. Kawaii Kitty King says, I think the conventions in Atlanta are fun. Atlanta's kind of an awkward one because it's too close to fly. And driving in Atlanta is a real pain. So I just end up not going at all. Okay, we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, hopefully they open the Sky Bridge this year. That'd be nice. Mahi Zero writes, sadly the people I know who run conventions that wouldn't quite fit a Joe Hill's panel. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, there's not a public transit link from... There's no passenger rail between Nashville and Atlanta. It's kind of dumb. Oh, yeah, there was the weekend they were the marathon was there. I remember that. Yeah. I wonder if that was multiple years, because I feel like if you and I were there at the same time, we might not have known each other yet. But I definitely remember the year that they were doing the marathon registration in the same building. As PAX Unplugged. So it's like you got all of these nerds coming in with their, like, black t-shirts with ironic phrases on them. And then also all of these, like, incredibly fit people who are there to run 26 miles. Why don't you TNT mine sand? We are actually trying to gather sand to make TNT. It's a long story. It's not that long, but I've told it already on the stream, and I'm not telling it again. Hey, it looks like we got another tip rolling in from Paul, who says, it's good you don't hate the sand, of course. Oh, sorry. It's coarse and rough, and the blocks bounce all over the place. Thank you very much, Paul, for that 5. Let's get that up on the abacus here. Boom! That gets us 5 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay, so we're more than half done in about 60-70 minutes. This is going shockingly fast. I was really worried. I was like 20 boxes. Maybe I shouldn't have signed up for that. I had my doubts. Dang it, that was not a good jump. That's slightly better. That was actually a really good jump there. Okay. So, this shovel doesn't have a lot of life left in it. Let's just do a quick flyby over here, see if we left anything. Whoa. Okay, I'm turning down the outdoor mic, because I think somebody is, like, pushing something metal onto a metal trailer out there. That was not a sound I was prepared for. Sorry about that, y'all. Welcome to the city. Like I said, I can cut out the low-end engine noise and tire sounds, but if you want to get the bird song in there, you gotta have the high-pitched stuff, and, like, yeah, occasional metal screech of trailer. Not great. Yeah, the Minecraft ambient sounds got really industrial all of a sudden. NJ says we have tile cutting here. Hello, NJ's tile cutters. Hello, NJ's tile cutters. Hello, NJ's tile cutters. Hello, NJ's tile cutters. Renovating bathrooms in New Jersey. Gonna cut the tile with clean seams. Gonna do some other bathroom renovation things. I don't really know all the words. Not that I don't know all the words to the song. I don't know a lot of, like, I don't have a strong, like, renovation vocabulary. My parents could never afford to renovate anything in any place we lived. It's like, what you get what you pay for, and then it slowly decays. Okay, this shovel has about 4 durability left in it, so that's probably a good time to cut that off. Okay. If I turn the outdoor mic back up, are we immediately going to get another screech? Yeah, my dad did some, like, DIY home improvement stuff, but we never, like, brought people in. He just did everything himself. Or ignored it. It's like, that's too big of a project for me. And therefore, we're gonna just be content with what we have. Why is there that lava pool there? That's weird. Good morning, Mr. Hardluck. Glad to see you. Bum, ba, dun, 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 do, do, do. We're gonna grab... Okay, so how many more boxes do we need here? So, if this is 20 total, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 5 and 2/3 boxes left to do. This is really good. Doug says my policy is only electricians get called. Yeah, I've brought in electricians before when I've lived places, because I'm like, the people who did this did not know what they were doing. Okay, so is this up here connected to the portal network? Because I have no idea what this is, but it worries me. Fireproof potions, leather. I'm worried if I go through here, I'm going to end up in somebody's, like, wild farm. There's no sign. Well, let's roll those dice. Double totem, just in case. Yep. Yep. I'm in a farm, and I can't get out. How would you get out of a situation like this? Do you just log out and log back in, and then it won't think you just went through the portal? Okay, send me through the portal, please. I can't open my inventory. I can't see anything. I'm assuming there's glass here. I've picked up something. Okay, so 2 tinted glass. So we'll just jump back into there, and we'll place that in there. Boom, fixed it. So we're not going to go through the other one, too. I know better. I was like, well, maybe this one will work. Nope, not worth it. Going back this way. Okay, so where is the portal? Should be over here. I probably should have had an escape strategy planned before doing that, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's pour some more coffee. Okay. This is why labeling should be a thing. It says Narissa. Yeah. Yeah, if your portal goes somewhere potentially fatal, don't just, like, leave it out. I understand putting it in the sky in the middle of nowhere isn't, you know, just leaving it out, but still, you know what I mean. Okay, just rolling my shoulders a little bit, trying to get those tight muscles out. Probably should be doing this after I start attacking these guys. Oh gosh. Yeah, we're gonna have a million. Oh, that's not gonna help. I was like, let me just fill my inventory. That was a mistake. I probably should have. Okay, here we go. That's what we actually want to do. Okay, now we can stretch our arms out. While we hear those chimes, just as a quick reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Stretching, stretching, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Labeling the portal caution, this is a trap, will just make more people step through it. Maybe. Depends on their mood, though. Like, when I'm like, I really just want to go back and get my stuff, I'm less likely to do that. Like, I'm, like, trying to get somewhere. Now, if I'm in the middle of a video, I'm like, oh, this will be funny for the recording. But if I'm like, oh, I'm just streaming and I want to fix my shovels. Okay. D. Doing neck exercises by rolling around my shoulders and my neck. Okay, we're gonna swap that for that one. And let's put this one on our hotbar too, so we can swap to it easily. Standardized, not an exit size. Yeah. Inventory full of steaks so we don't pick up 1,000,000 ender pearls. Yeah. I think they're actually lamb chops. Ah, dang it. That needs to go there. I like to stretch out, stretch out. I like to stretch out, stretch out. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome back, Evan. Yeah, we just, we filled up like 14 of the boxes so far. Technically, we need 20 for Jevin and then another 6 for ourselves, but I just want to get the 20 to Jevin right away. So I can send him a Discord message being like, here's your 20 shulkers of sand. I wonder... Oh, I've got graph paper. I wonder if I could spell the word... Or not the word, the letters... The numbers 20 with, 20 boxes of sand. If I use, like... How many pixels on each, you know? With the shulkers. Did you miss any Joe lore? No. No. Kawaii Kitty King says my cat just shoved herself under my head. Woo! Can we get to sleep before all the mobs spawn? Because this is not a lit area. We did it! Woo! Okay, we're going to consolidate this stuff back down easier. Here. Let's drop off the sticks. Or the extra shovels can go in here for right now, too. Yeah, we only need to carry... Okay, put that over there, put that over there. Okay. Mob sounds, Joe. I guess.
Hostile creatures. On. Let's hear them hostile creatures.
It would take 24 boxes to write the number 20 well, says Mahi Zero well. That's what I was thinking. That's just slightly too many, so we're not going to do that. It needs to be in the second slot here. Oh, good. I have a few zombies here. Don't want the creepers creeping up on me. I don't really like the desert mob sounds. They're scary. The husks do have husky voices. There's a new season of Clone High. Ooh. I did not know that. Is it the original team coming back? Because a lot of the folks who worked on Clone High went on to work on some of my other favorite shows. Scrubs and Cougar Town. Oh, that wasn't... I was like, did the spider get me? No, it's just gravel. It's very good. 2 episodes are out, says Evan Netta. Awesome. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I enjoyed the original. Because that was Doozer Productions. I believe. You could do the 0 with 8 boxes, but it would be smaller than the 2. Good to know. Okay. La da 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 da. Do 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 do. Hello, spider. I'm gonna leave you alone because it's daytime, so you should leave me alone. Spiders are like, go back inside, it's nighttime. During the day, they're just like, oh, okay, you can be outside now. It's safe for you, human. Where's the pain sound coming from? My heart! No, it's from occasionally suffocating when sand falls on me, briefly. Because, like, as the falling sand is happening, I'm, like, walking into it. And so occasionally it's causing me a little bit of damage. Yeah, spiders are looking out for you. They're our 8-legged pals. Tig says, couldn't you do an LED style too that only takes up 10 pixels? That was what I was thinking, is I would try to do 10 pixels for each letter. Or numeral. I feel like I could probably figure out something that looks roughly correct. Yep. So we have 4 and 2/3 left. We're making progress. Whoa! And we're in a pit. Where's the water level? There. Okay. Don't want to go below the water level, because then that causes flooding, and it's its own whole thing. Whoops. Flooding. That was what I was talking about. Yeah, basically if I do the outline first and then I mine inward from there, I'll know I'm good. See, now I can come in here and just be like... McLesley says, have we mentioned how fun your raid was last night? Regretting my choice to stay up now, but they were great. Yeah, I actually talked about that earlier, but, you know, a lot of people who stayed up late might just still be coming in. Yeah, we raided this guy who's apparently a animation supervisor on The Simpsons. He was doing freelance animation work for them starting in 2004 and went full-time about a decade ago with them. And, he and his wife, Pepper, were both really cool, great entertainers. And it didn't hurt that they had Sarif there explaining how to play Godzilla. So he was super deep into the code of Godzilla. I usually play Godzilla on machines that are set up for tournaments. And so in a tournament setting, you don't want players playing too long and getting all the way through the story of a game. But like at a home setup, you know, you want to play the whole game. You paid for it, right? So, yeah, Sarif was walking him through multiple cities and then Planet X Multiball, which I've never seen anybody hit Planet X Multiball in person. And the new code changes to Godzilla actually make it way more accessible. So you only have to complete 2 cities to hit Planet X, which in a tournament might make some sense to go for. Because there are certain situations where you're just like, okay, well, I'm on ball 3. I'm not going to clear 2 more cities. Let's just go to Planet X, start Planet X Multiball, and go for it, right? And so it was a really good raid. They were fun people to watch. And I had a good time. So yeah, I'm glad you had a good time too, McLeslie. But yeah, do I have a link to that name of that channel? It was twitch.tv slash homegrown bdub. Yeah, but they were fantastic. They normally stream at times that I wouldn't run into them, but because it wasn't a school night, I stayed up late on my own stream, and then I was like, oh no, we got to we got to raid a rando. It's always nerve-wracking. I'm always worried, like, oh no, what if we raid this channel and the people are jerks? Because, like, you know, y'all are adults. You don't need my protection per se, but, like, you know, if you walk away from the stream and, you know, or if you're like cooking or something, let's say you're not even walked away from the stream, but like your hands are covered in food or you're dealing with stuff. If I raid somebody and they're immediately like shouting obscenities and stuff, it's like that might not be super convenient for you to turn off if that's not what you're looking for while you're cooking, right? Like, but no, it was cool. I think his name was, it was either Brett or Brent, and his wife's name was Pepper. But they were fantastic. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna look forward to watching their stream again. Because the nice thing about it too is like the top tier pinball streamers, a lot of times are too good for me to necessarily, like, if you're too good at pinball, it's hard for me as an intermediate player to track what you're doing sometimes. But because this guy was an intermediate player who had Sarif talking him through the shots and what he needed to do, I was learning along with him, and that worked as a structure for the show really well. I got a lot out of it as a viewer, separate from them being entertaining people in general. McLeslie says, I learned a lot. It was great. Yeah. I'm so glad that wasn't only me feeling that way. Because sometimes I raid somebody and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly my jam. And everybody's like, Joe, this being exactly your jam is what we like least about you. This is not for us. Please don't do this again. But yeah, no, I really thought that was a great stream. Hey, welcome Dash Max. I'm actually curious. He was talking about possibly doing a bonus stream today to unbox a Foo Fighters at his friend's house, but it doesn't look like he's live. Oh yeah, he's on California or West Coast time, so he wouldn't be live even if he was doing that today. But yeah, I haven't gotten to personally play a Foo Fighters LE yet. I've played a Premium and a Pro. There's an LE at Eastside Bowl in Nashville right now that's on loan from Zach Meny at Flipping Out Pinball. Sorry, not Flipping Out, Flipping Out Pinball. But I haven't gotten to mess with it myself. Mahi Zero. Yeah, that's roughly what I was looking at. Okay. Sorry, I got a message from Quinn I gotta respond to. My sister. Not sure about logistics on that. I'd... don't have a great plan for getting there. Would you mind picking us up? Okay. Yeah, we're hanging out with my sister and my daughter tonight. Get some friends and family time in, so no stream tonight. So we're doing kind of the HermitCraft 9 live for Friday. We canceled the coffee stream and replaced it with the nighttime stream. So you get a little bit different pacing on the stream. We had the actual nighttime show theme song, music before, rather than just the coffee stream just starting and me being like, I must leave. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wake myself up a little bit first, come in hype, get some sand, blow some stuff up maybe. Might not be doing too much blowing stuff up today, but we can at least get Jevin his stuff. So the nice thing is, if I can turn this around for Jevin this quick, he can hopefully get me the gunpowder fast, and then tomorrow night, the Saturday night stream, we can be placing all the charges for the TNT, for the big boom. DeRoy says, why do you play on solo field of view? I don't think I do. I think I'm playing on the default. Welcome, Ms. Wilford. Glad you could join us. Morning, Michael Laposada in the YouTube chat. Glad you could join us. ABC Fruit says, is it just me or does the sand does the sand fall really slow? I don't know. Maybe gravity's different here. You should do some experiments with a stopwatch. Don't do weird stuff with caps, boy. I'm gonna time you out so you have a chance to read the rules, DeRoy. I'm the only moderator, and so it's hard for me to read the text if there's a lot of caps. Some people are like, man, your chat has a lot of rules. And I'm like, yeah, but they save me $20 an hour in staffing costs. We could have much less rigid rules if I could afford it. But this is what I can do on my own. Okay. Welcome, Nellie Helen. Glad you could join us today in the Twitch chat. .tv. Boom. Did I hear the release date for 120? Well, according to Cub Fan's Twitter, it's June 7th, and I've never known Cub Fan to be wrong about anything. Yeah, tips are accepted through paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. I'm glad you could catch us live, or catch me live, Nellie Helen. Yeah, just so you know, if you've never seen the show, the stream before, but you're familiar with my YouTube videos, in the YouTube videos, those are very fast-paced, because when I edit, I get really annoyed if I'm talking slowly. I'm like, ugh, talk faster, talk faster. I need to get this done, talk faster. So, over time, I've started talking faster and faster in my recording segments, but I can't maintain that level of energy 100% of the time. This is more my normal speaking cadence. So, I talk a little bit slower in the streams, and so, like, in the YouTube video, I'd be like, hey, we're doing this, blah, 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 we're doing that, blah, 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 time skip. And the stream is basically all the stuff in the time skip. It's like, we gotta go get 20 shulkers worth of sand. Time skip. And then the stream is just me, like, hanging out here for, like, 3 hours, being like, so let's talk about audiobooks. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, I forgot about that part. I forgot this was the water wall. Anyway, here's water wall. How are we on space? We got plenty. Nymph says, I love the slower paced streams over the fast paced stuff. That's probably just me. You know, it's different things for different there is definitely overlap between the two audiences, but it's not the same for everybody. Some people especially get freaked out by the camera expansions. Because, like, for example, we're $5 away from the next face camera expansion. And some people are like, wait, what happened? What's a face camera expansion? And then they're like, oh, this is not for me. Yeah. Nellie Helen says, I noticed the difference, but I think it's nice. I'm baking at the moment, so I don't have to be fixed to the screen to follow the conversation. Yeah, that's definitely another thing, is the streams are definitely more like background noise radio show type thing. I actually wanted to be a radio host when I was a kid, and this is me kind of living that dream. Dilg says, to maintain that energy level, I would have to be 15 again or have chemical assistance. I am highly caffeinated when I'm recording. Yeah. You're not wrong. Tig says it's different moods, videos I want to pay better attention to. I spend a lot more time thinking about the composition and framing of the shots for the video segments. When I'm recording, I'm thinking about what's on screen, but when I'm streaming, I'm just doing stuff while talking. It's a lot more chill for me to not be constantly worried about the composition and stuff the same way. Like, there's cinematography that goes into making the YouTube videos that doesn't go into making the streams. So you're not missing out on as much looking away during the streams, if that makes sense. By design. Evan Netta tips 20 new Israeli shekels, which comes out to about 5 US abacus beads, and says, only $5. Let's get expanded. So, here we go. Okay, good. I'm in the bed now. There we go. That gets us cumulatively to our next face camera expansion milestone. Please direct your attention to the lower left, where I'm about to expand. Alrighty, thank you very much, Evan Netta, for getting us to that next milestone. We are 20 even away from the next one. Hack the Gibson, that was unintentional, but I'm glad it was funny. No, I, as somebody in a delicate custody situation, I do not get anywhere near any sort of illegal substances. Personally, I think that there's way too many... I think a lot of the laws around drug use in the United States are far too draconian, but my highest priority is my child. And so, regardless of whether or not I think a law is dumb, if it's going to impact my custody situation, I'm not gonna dance around the line on it. You know, so no illegal substances, just highly caffeinated. Leave the audio in the time skip so people can hear the audiobook chat at 500 times speed. honestly, at that point, it sounds like somebody's just running a weed whacker or a high-pitched engine. It doesn't sell the way you might think. How close are we to the water line here? I don't want to... Oh, good. We're nowhere near it. Okay, I got disoriented about where we were in relation to everything. Do 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 boom boom boom. Da 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 da. Delg says, I wanted to be a DJ at 1.2 or a talk radio host. If I'd known about voice acting as a career, I might have seriously pursued it. Yeah. Like, I've really had a lot of fun reading public domain books to my stream. We read all of Dracula. We've read a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe and some poetry and stuff. I'm not experienced enough to do professional audiobook work or anything at this point. But it would be something that's, I'm nowhere near retirement age. I've got a long career ahead of me. It's definitely something that's on my radar as I'm going to keep practicing this during the streams and maybe one day. But, like, with stuff like that, like, yeah, it'd be definitely cool to get into. Ranton and Raven says, most people who use their voice for their work heavily have different voices between normal speaking and their job. Oh, I mean, I have different voices for all sorts of stuff. Not just different accents, like, oh, I'm going to do my Boston accent when I'm reading this part of this book. But, like, when I'm calling, like, the electric company, it's like, I don't even know if I can, I don't know if I can do it if I'm not, like, but, like, if I was, like, there, hi, this is Joseph Hills. I'm account number blah, blah, blah. I'm having a problem with my billing, and I just can't figure it out. I was wondering if you could help me. Like, something like that. It's just like, I'm very non-threatening, and I need help. I'm very non-threatening. Help me. But, like, when I was working at my day job, I would also have kind of two different telephone voices. Depending on, like, if a client called with a problem, I'd use my friendly voice. But if a vendor called, like, Red Hat was calling us, like, nonstop trying to sell us things. So okay. So Kara K says you don't use your far too serious voice. My far too serious voice is when I have to tell clients no. My vendor voice is... okay, so let's pretend Red Hat's calling. I'm going to get my phone. Hello. That's me. I'm not interested. I don't think there's a business case for that. We're happy with the plan we have. If we had problems with it, we would have canceled it already. That's how displeased I am by the fact you keep calling us. It's exceptional. We're very happy with your existing product, but it makes absolutely 0 sense for us to spend a single cent more. In fact, the value of my time on this call is not worth it. If you do not have anything important that I need to know about our existing plan, I'm going to get back to work now. Thank you, goodbye. Because what is Red Hat going to do? They're not going to fire us as a client. But, like, they keep calling. They never stop calling. It drives me crazy. I'm trying to do my job. I'm the only person here who knows how these servers work, and Red Hat won't stop phoning me. Stop phoning me. Delg says, this is practically throwing fists in the business world. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's fine. I'm fine. But, like, I just get really annoyed when I'm trying to work and a vendor is like, hi, we want to talk to you about changing your plan. I'm like, no, we talked about this. We picked this plan for a reason. Stop trying to upsell us. You are getting so much money from us already. Why are you making my... Like, the thing is, there's nobody else in the building capable of taking this call if there is something... being able to determine if there is something important we need to know here. I'm the only one who could do it, right? And so it's like, that call goes to me. Delg says, dude, that got me into fight mode. I gotta settle down. Yeah. Yeah. I want them to write down aggressively displeased we keep calling him every time they call me. Maybe they're just doing it for fun by the end. I don't know. Maybe they're like, oh man, you won't believe this guy from Nashville. He hates it when we call him. Really? Can I call him? Yeah, I called him last week. You call him this time. It'll be great. It's like, oh my gosh. Don't upsell me, bro. The thing is, Miss Wilford, this is not a spam call. This is a company we had a business relationship with who just wouldn't stop trying to sell us more stuff. But we really objectively needed the stuff we bought from them because otherwise we wouldn't be buying it from them at all because they were so obnoxious. So it's like, I can't just, like, say I'm not going to ever work with this company again because we built a bunch of things around their technology. Morwood says, I'm the one who gets the vendor and consultant emails about machine learning and AI now. Oh, yeah, I'm glad I got out of that field before those started rolling in. We used AI to write this email. Could you even tell? Yes! Yes. Bum, 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 bum. You can't sleep only at night or during thunderstorm. Boom, boom, booms. Yeah, the sand noises are very calm. I'm actually having to calm down after, like, I put a lot into that performance, but it came from a very real place. And this is one of the differences between me and a professional, too. And this is something, like, Quinn actually has, like, 2 different theater degrees. Bachelor's in theater and, like, then a master's in filmmaking. Which I guess isn't a theater degree, but 2, like, yeah. But, like, one of the differences between me and a professional actor is a professional actor can just, like, switch into that and then immediately switch back. But, like, when I'm like, I'm going to draw from something that makes me upset to do this voice, it actually takes me a minute to calm back down. Which... well, thank goodness I don't have to do that anymore. Musclebop says, one of the places I used to work, the first contact for Red Hat and Sun was a surly Irishman who hated phones. The head of the department picked him for his professional phone manner, which might have been incomprehensible to most English speakers. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Because that's the thing is Red Hat's gonna Red Hat. They're gonna call you no matter what. So yeah, you get the guy who does not want to talk to them, and you put him on the phone. Because otherwise, if you have somebody who's like, well, let me just hear you out, just in case. I don't know what we're doing next quarter. Let me hear you out. If you get the guy who's agreeable to answer the phone with Red Hat, he might not have the authority to accidentally buy anything, but he might waste half his day on the phone with them and then be like, oh, let me email everybody these great things I heard about on the phone. It's like, no, don't summarize your phone call. Get off the phone. Get away quickly while you can. Draken79 says, not all pro actors can switch it on and off. Method actors really have to live the character. Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, is I'm not really an actor. Like, because I'm not playing a character. Like, this is just me playing video games. I do attempt to be a little bit kinder and more patient. And optimistic to some degree. Because I realized early on, since I wasn't an actor, if I was like a rage gamer and I started like flipping out and throwing things or whatever, even though some people find that more entertaining, because I'm not a professional actor, I wouldn't be able to turn that off. And so I was like, as an experiment, let me see, does being slightly more patient and trying to be more understanding than I am at like my day job, for example, where I was just very short with Red Hat, does, like, even if, oh no, being extra patient and understanding is creeping into my day-to-day life, like, that wouldn't be a bad thing in the same way, like, screaming and throwing tables would, Delg says, waste their time, ask them for the pitch, and then put the phone on mute. No, I don't have the patience for that. Melody Starfire says, "Hey Joe, how's it going? I'm doing good." Dog says, "I will stop playing a game on stream or even shut down a stream if I start turning into the anger guy." Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I don't want to be a rage gamer, and that's the thing though, is like, occasionally when you do see me get angry, like, because I do get angry on stream, occasionally, but it's usually, I cannot think of a time. I've definitely freaked out on stream because, like, oh no, that was really bad, I broke somebody's stuff, but that's like panic, that's not rage. When bad things happen to me, I'm just like, that's part of the game. But I have occasionally gotten legitimately angry on stream, about, like, talking about current events or something. Like, sometimes I get slightly emotional about things that I generally think are justifiable to get emotional about. But there's a difference between getting emotional because of what we're discussing versus getting emotional because I'm playing a video game and I drop my anvil on the wrong person or something. I don't know. What do people get mad about in video games? I fell in the lava, right? Like, Mahi Zero Woe says, righteous anger, Joe. Yeah, like, it's a different thing. But, like, that's the other thing, is I'm not coming in here with, like, what the kids call toxic positivity either. I'm not just like, the world is perfect, everyone should be happy. If you're not happy, it's because you're a failure. Like, that's not healthy. That's not how the world works. A lot of things are broken out there, and I reserve the right to be displeased about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we're missing one. One of them must have fallen down. Where are we? That's 18. Did we not? I'm pretty sure we had 20. Because this one's the toolbox, so this doesn't count. Maybe I miscounted in the first place? I don't think I would have done that, though. I feel like I counted twice. F3 and B it. There was one already full. Did I? I left the one that was already full at my base. Thank you, Alpacatastic. That's right. That's right. We left the one that was... Did we? Maybe. But, like, where could it have fallen? I don't like using F3 and B, but, like, this is just, like, a sanity check, not trying to... It, like, wouldn't have fallen down here. No, those are just mobs. What's that? A bunny rabbit? Another bunny rabbit? Okay. I think we must have left one at the base. I think Alpacatastic might be right. Either that or we accidentally put one in our thing here at one point without realizing it. Did we put one of the sandboxes in here? Bum, bum, bum. These are cards, fireworks rockets, totems. Well, I mean, worst case, we go get one more. It's fine. Like, I'm not stressing out about it. I mean, that is one of the reasons I stopped using netherite armor or not armor, netherite tools, because I kept breaking them when I was distracted talking to y'all and getting, like, I wasn't, like, angry, but I was like, I screwed that up. I was disappointed in myself. Whereas, like, if I break diamond tools, I'm like, whatever. They're super cheap. I'll just get more. So it's like, I'm just going to use diamond tools instead of the netherite ones, so that way I'm not disappointed if I screw up as badly. Because, like, realistically, I'm going to want to talk to y'all, and I'm going to lose track of time talking to y'all. So I should just plan around that from the get-go. What is Red Hat? Red Hat is a Linux distribution. Red Hat Enterprise Linux, sometimes called RHEL. So I used to work as a LAMP developer, Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. And RHEL was the Linux distribution we used at each of my previous employers. Okay, so that's 20 boxes. Only on HermitCraft can diamond tools be considered cheap. Well, I mean, you can trade with villagers for them, and emeralds are cheap. So, I mean, it's not only on HermitCraft. I've been picturing Red Hat as an XKCD stick figure with a hat the whole time, but it's just a company, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I legitimately really like their operating system. It's only their sales team I have problems with. Okay, there's Jevin's house. You know, I'm realizing with the amount of space we have here. Oh, sun's getting real low. Does he have a bed in here I can use somewhere handy? I don't want to get creepered out there putting these boxes down. Does anyone know if Jev has a bed in here somewhere? Oh, come on. That's not a bed. Is there a bed in here? No. Maybe in this village somewhere? Yeah, I've got 3 chats going. Because I'm streaming on twitch.tv/JoeHills, youtube.com/JoeHillsTSD, and joehills.net/live. Oh, come on. No beds. It's a real hassle. Why are there no beds here? TSD is Team Snow Day, which is a comedy group my friends and I created for making comics and stuff. Scar broke the bed. Scar. Scar! Well, there's a bed right here. I don't know where Zed's bed is in the pit, and I don't want to risk a creeper there. Was there not a bed in the middle of the storage? I looked and I didn't see it, but maybe I was just in too much of a rush. Okay, so I flew the wrong way. And we're low on rockets. Good planning. McLesley says there's a ladies' association called the Red Hat Club. I was picturing a little old lady soliciting you and making you angry. No, it's people who make operating systems. Okay, honestly, at this point, looking at how much space there is out here, I think we just probably want to put all 20 boxes down. We're not going to bother with fancy numbers or anything. Okay. Sand, 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 sand. Making sure each of these is full. I don't want Jev thinking I tried to rip him off or something. This was too much work to just, like, screw it up on delivery. It's like, Joe, one of those boxes was all of your tools, right? That's not good. Wait. Nope, none of those. Okay. So, function F2, saved screenshot. Jeff was probably up late last night playing TCG, so he might not see this for a bit, but let's go ahead and send that to him. Jevin. Upload file. Screenshot. 0526. Send. 20 shulkers of sand left at your storage. Feel free to drop the gun powder off in the middle of my pinball machine, my pinball cabinet, at your convenience. Thanks. Okay. Next problem. Next problem is we need to actually go get more sand, but so that we can actually, will I stream on TikTok too? No. Well, anything I stream on has to have a good computer chat situation. Like, that's why I don't stream on Tumblr. Anything where you have to have your phone open to the app to see the chat and moderate it isn't going to work for me, because I a lot of times have to use my phone to check other things during the stream. Okay. Dun 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 do 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 dun 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 do 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 bum ba da dun 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 do 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 do. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so I think so. We're back here. Let's see. We need rockets. We need shulkers. We need sand. There's impulse. Morning impulse. I think that what I need is a hydration break. Cause I finished my coffee basically. Entirely now. I finished my coffee and now I need to go grab a fresh drink. So we're going to see who we need to thank from our hydration break spreadsheet. Then I will grab a fresh drink and check on my kid. Then we'll gather more sand. If Jevin does log on, we can maybe get some of that TNT, but I don't know if I want to count on him logging on early. Anyway, let's go ahead and thank Bioduck, and we're going to go ahead and play Lines. That's a 4-minute song, assuming I can find it. Where is it? Loins, loins, loins. 4 minutes. I will be right back. Doo-doo-doo.
Power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all downtown. Lines of connection, communication, not the borders of boundaries that slice and dice a nation. Divided by the chalk lines of disreputable history, past failures are laid out as we shrug with absent mystery. Those bodies left behind us while we amble on ahead, fearful of the wrong things from newspapers unread. Before I tell you what to do, or you try to tell me, let's all see what's been done and where we could have been. By knowing what's before us, the path might clear ahead, and focus on new obstacles uncharted by the dead. Power line from a gurgling turbine, a telephone line from a quiet room, a metro line from across the city. Maybe we'll all raise our glasses soon. They say across the fence line the grass is always butcherous, but we're not corralling cattle, fearing wranglers, violent murders. When we look out past dividers, we're unsurprised to see more folks erecting fences, becoming detainees. Before I worry about you or you worry about me, let's all dwell on ourselves, we're the private enemy. Becoming who we're meant to, virtuous and creative. We won't dread the different, the strange or unrelated. Power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all
Welcome back from that hydration break, everyone. Thanks again to Bioduck for covering that. Okay, we have got some sand in here we can take with us, clearly. We're going to lay our heads down and dream, and then we're going to move some stuff around. We got some blackstone from Tango we need to move into permanent boxes for storage. We've got some other places that we need to put in some more chests. So we have, at this point, so much birch. Even though we need it for a bunch of things that we still have yet to do, it kind of makes sense to me to just use it for chests for the time being, because I wanna move the whole project along. We gotta go on this project. But yeah, let's see. How long did it take us to get 19 boxes of sand? If we started at 8:30 and it's 11 now, that's 2.5 hours. Yeah, so we saved Jeff 2.5 hours, while honestly waking up in the morning, I'm not exactly at my strongest in terms of spatial reasoning and stuff. I wouldn't have necessarily wanted to do anything too sophisticated in Minecraft at this hour anyway, so it's not like it was a huge inconvenience for me. So I'm glad that worked out well. Let's go ahead and maybe put... Oh, I was going to put more sandboxes up there, too. Ballad of Joe Hill's Return. Oh, cool. Thank you, Cub. Let's actually put that there. Okay, we'll put this away for right now. So, the extra blackstone boxes. Yeah, we're going to move all 3 of these over here. We can never get... We have a ton of work still to do on this project in blackstone. But for right now... Whoops, that's the gear bag one, of course. For right now, let's just offload the blackstone into here. For ease of working with stuff. Let's not mix the 3rd black shulker box in with it, because that will just make probs and trubs. Okay. So, actually, I could take some of these... Well, whatever. You know what? Let's grab... Okay, so that's 3 shulker boxes we need to fill up with sand for ourselves. We've got these leafy ones here, which I'm kind of inclined to just say... Okay, well that one actually needs to go down there. But these 2, let's just dump into over here for sorting later, because then we have enough shulkers to, like, actually get going. Oh, and all these axolotls. Yeah, or tropical fish. All these tropical fish can go in here. And that's another shulker box we don't have to worry about. These are for the Guppy Geyser 2.0, which is a future project. Not for today. No, that's not the one we want to empty today. This is... We want these 2 here. Okay, so we'll get all of this stuff out of here for right now. And throw it up in here. Boom. Next problem. More plants, azaleas, sea pickles. Ooh, sea pickles actually should go in our illumination box. Chorus flowers should probably go in our end box. So we actually are finding some things here that are of value. But whatever. We're just gonna remember those are there. He won't. Okay. Boom. 1, 2. So we got this cobblestone box here. We're gonna go take down to... Does this actually connect still? Oh, that's fun. I didn't know that that's still connected. Oh yeah, somebody was asking about the cabling for the pinball machine. So yeah, all the cabling has a lot of slack in it and runs on through these conduit holes down to connect the play field up to the computers and stuff in the back box. Okay. So, let's go ahead and get this one here emptied. Whoops, wrong one. Apparently I'd already done that. Yeah. All this stuff can go to Pearl when we do our next drop off of Pearl. We're basically waiting for Pearl to get the trash thing in, and until she does, we're just dumping everything around this. The gravel we actually want to save and put in our gravel box. We don't have a gravel box down here right now. We'll grab that later. We won't, but I'll say that. Okay, so we're up to now... Wow, we went from having no extra shulkers to having 7 shulkers ready to go. Okay, great. And when I look at our gearbox, our gear bag here, okay, we've got 2 fully ready shovels. That should be enough with the half shovel we got here. We're in good shape. We are in good shape. Making good time, making good progress. Do 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 do. La da 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 da. What time are they leaving? Sorry, I've got something. We're trying to coordinate something later on. And it's like, I'll pick you up at this time to get over here by that time. I'm like, I don't know if that time is enough. I'm not sure if... I went the wrong way. Let's just repair this stuff anyway since we're going. Okay, we'll be taking the bus at that time. Okay, cool. So I will just say, sounds great. Okay. So we'll fix our shovels. Okay, let's do this right. Uh-oh. Sounds. Hostile creatures. Okay. So we're going to get the only tools that we need to repair out. We made sure we picked our toolbox back up. Swapping that shovel into my offhand. We're going to spread fireworks in our inventory so we don't grab a bunch of ender pearls at random. Yeah, Jevin did a great job, Casimir. You're right. Okay, so... Okay, woo! Most of the songs are done by Quinn, Sunflower Dragon. I write the lyrics. Quinn does the composition and performance. With the exception of, like, one of them, I wrote a parody of Johnny Be Good that's actually performed by Manta DeRay called Suma Be Void.
Deep down inside the ceiling, close to Mountain Kings. It's like 1984 when I have to tell the screens. Big brother watched the builder with a silky voice, who played on HermitCraft names who would be void, who never ever learned to show his face so well, but he could play guitar just like a brilliant man. Well, go, 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 Suma, go, go. Go, Suma, go, go. Go to your grave, go. Go, Suma, go, go. Suma be void.
Yeah, rock and roll ukulele is underrated. I agree. Manta derail is fantastic as an entertainer and musician. But yeah, that came up during the HermitCraft, or that song was written during the HermitCraft Civil War, which is why we're telling Asuma to go to his grave, because we dug graves for him and his team. Putting in a little graveyard behind their base. So now we need to go to the desert because we fixed our shovels. We have turned night into day. And it's time to go to the desert. Whew, stretch it out. No, we need to turn left when we get to the tunnel this time. That's where I screwed up. I was on muscle memory and I went right. Whoa. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so there's the creeper. Now there's the turn for the mining desert and mesa. Okay. Okay, so we need 6 shulkers worth of sand to make the TNT. With the gunpowder we're waiting on from Jevin. And then I guess once we get enough sand, we can actually just start boring out. Did I take my bed with me? No, I left the bed. Okay, I was like, I don't think I would have taken. I wouldn't have taken the bed and the ender chest. Okay, so this is actually 7 shulkers, which is more than we need. But, I mean, who knows? We might need sand for something later, like concrete powder, so it doesn't... We'll just gather some. Okay. La da 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 da. Yeah, I checked on my kid during the hydration break. She's doing good. She's just folding laundry and watching TV. I got her some new clothes for camp. So we had to do a big laundry thing because, you know, obviously you get new clothes, you wash them and stuff. So she's just getting packed for camp and folding stuff, watching TV, enjoying her summer vacation. So I'm just chilling here myself, getting some stuff done. Since I'm not doing the stream tonight, I kind of want to just do this for as long as is feasible. Especially since we're spending the evening together. I don't want to be like, hey, it's your summer break. You need to immediately spend all your time with me. Your dad. I'm a pal. But yeah. I did check on her, though. Because, like, I didn't want to promise that this would be a long stream. Because if I got down there and I'm like, hey, what's going on? It's like, I'm bored. I want to go somewhere. Okay, cool. Let's go somewhere. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm getting ready for camp. Okay, cool. You know, if kids are generally doing what they're supposed to be doing, like, you know, it's like, oh, like, one of my friends, he's an uncle now, and he'll be like, he'll see his nephew coloring and, like, want to go, oh, I want to go bother him because he's coloring. I want to go ask him a bunch of questions about what he's doing and his thought process and stuff. I'm like, if he's sitting there working quietly on something, you know, like, it's okay to just let him do that. Like, you know, you can check on him if it's been a while, but like, you know, you need to give kids a little bit of space, you know, and then, you know, definitely engage with him when he's excited that he finished the thing he was working on. But, you know, like, my kid has the checklist from the camp. We've gone over it together. You know, I'm going to let her do what she needs to do to get prepared to go, you know, instead of just being like, I don't know if I can trust you to match these socks. Miss Wilford says, summer starts on Wednesday for me. I cannot wait. Awesome. Yeah, just as a quick reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, I should turn hostile creature sounds back up. Thank you for the reminder, Marco Ortiz. I appreciate it. La 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 la. Master Manager says, gosh, still at it. Have you hit the 20 boxes yet? I sure have. We already got all 20 boxes dropped off at Jevons. But Mahi Zero pointed out that if Jevon drops off 200 stacks of gunpowder for you, you're still gonna need 6 more boxes of sand to make the TNT for your build, for your excavation, right? So we're kind of in overtime now, collecting the sand for my use. Because the thing is, I wanted to drop off the sand for Jev, because I knew I wasn't going to be playing this evening, so that way he'd have, like, overnight to get the gunpowder together without it being, like... Honestly, even if he takes longer, it's not going to slow me down that much, because I can work on other stuff. But, I knew that the sooner I got that to him, it'll start the turnaround process, right? Whereas, like, oh, the sand for the TNT, I can gather that on the same stream that I'm blowing the stuff up if I have to. But I knew there was going to be a delay between when I got him the stuff when he'd get me stuff back. Okay. Let's go ahead and... So we need 6 boxes of sand for ourselves to make the TNT with that gunpowder. There's the solid start to box number 1. And we can offload this cactus and stuff here. Yeah, this sand is not, or this water is not working well with me. It's fine as long as I'm not actually submerged myself. That's when I start getting some speed delays on the shovel. Or if I'm, like, swimming, yeah. I think that's more than being submerged. It's the swimming element that slows me down. If my feet aren't touching the ground, I don't dig as fast. Yeah, like there's, for example, wasn't going as fast there. But yeah, this is a very chill first day of summer. Got plans for the evening, so just having a nice slow morning. It's good. It's beautiful outside here in Tennessee. We're going to be outside a lot later, so I'm excited for the good weather. Sometimes in Tennessee, summer starts and it's like immediately a bajillion degrees with high humidity. But we've had some really, really fortunate luck on humidity so far. Okay, so yeah, let's go this way, actually. I'm looking at this. We haven't really done much out here. We'll bring this back over. Then, oh yeah, this is such a weird formation, too. Morning, Tam. Glad you can join us. We are just grabbing some sand for TNT. We gave 20 shulkers to Jevon in exchange for 200 gunpowder. But in order to actually turn the gunpowder from Jevon into TNT, we need sand for ourselves, too. It's like, the one thing that Jevin needs is the other half of what I need. But still, this is a great deal. He's basically giving us 400 diamonds worth of sand for 2.5 hours worth of digging. I really feel like 2.5 hours of mining would not have gotten me 400 diamonds. What is the average diamonds per hour if you're actually good at this video game that I am passable at, but arguably suboptimal? Because that's the thing, is with mining, I get distracted a lot by running into, like, lava and stuff, and then I'm like, oh, well, let's go over here, and then I'll stop mining. But with shoveling sand, it's pretty easy to kind of just keep going. I feel like I tend to have pretty good... sand is a little bit psychologically easier for me, possibly because I have so much experience digging it out while doing those book readings. Ms. Wilford says, I hate humidity because I have really curly hair normally, and in the humidity it becomes untamable. Yeah, I'm fortunate that the humidity doesn't affect my hair too much, but it definitely affects how much I sweat. People will ask me at conventions, they're like, Joe, are you wearing a different shirt than you were this morning? And I'm like, yeah. Like, that's just like something in Tennessee. Like, if you're walking around outside and you get sweaty, you change shirts, but, you know... Like, at a convention, if I'm walking around a lot and getting sweaty, I'm going to change shirts too. It's like, I don't think in terms of like, oh, one shirt per day, that's it. Cub has numbers on Diamond. Of course he does. Does anyone know what his numbers were, though? Roughly. On diamonds per hour. I don't think I could get 400 diamonds in 2.5 hours. Welcome back, X. Bye, X. I'll have to greet him better next time. Doc M could get that many diamonds per minute until Scarn Korean blew up his mining rig. Yeah, I know, right? Have a good lunch, Luxby13. I think I hear a llama. Is there a wandering trader nearby? No, it's a cow. Okay. It's fine. I was just like, what is that? Alpacatastic. I don't think I was getting 2.33 diamonds per minute last night. I think I was getting 1 diamond every 2.3 minutes. Because I did some math last night, and I was like, is this worse than usual? That's why I was asking what an average diamond mining session would look like. Not because the one I had last night, it was definitely 1 diamond every 2.5 minutes or so. You were talking about Cubs results. Cubs results were the inverse of mine, is what I'm hearing. That's how bad I was doing last night. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Because last night I was having terrible luck with diamonds. Okay. So yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize that you were talking about Cubs results because I was like, that sounds exactly like mine, but flipped. So that's how bad I was doing. I was doing 1 inverse Cub of diamond mining rate there. Oh, jeez. Okay. If I checked PayPal lately, I have That makes the fact that you're asking that makes me worry that maybe we're having the problem again where some tips are only showing up on the phone. Let me check my phone in particular then. Ah, yes. One just okay, so does it say when this came in? 10:23 a.m. Okay, yeah. So this one's probably going to hit the computer shortly. But yeah, thank you very much to Drew Baca for 100, who says, meant to send this a while ago, but driving. Anyway, hope this helps with camp stuff. It sure does. I appreciate it, Drew Baca. Wait, you sent something an hour ago too? Was it that amount or was it a different amount? Because that amount just came in literally right now. It came in 3 minutes ago. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because you were driving, or like with the cellular stuff. Maybe it. That shouldn't. It should be all or nothing. It shouldn't slow it down by an hour. That's so weird. I'm sorry, Drew Baca, for the delay on that. But that something with PayPal, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much. That's gonna get us 5 face camera expansions. Here we go. Expand Joe. Do 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 do. And then numero dos. Oh, wait, no. Numero dos is enter the juice. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I saw you mention something about PayPal like a while ago. I guess it was probably an hour ago now. And I checked PayPal at the time. But no, it only just came in to me 3 minutes ago. So who knows? But either way, I really appreciate the support, Drew Baca. Thank you for your patience there. We got numero tres, even larger face. Da 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 da. Lowering the opacity now to 80%. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about we expand some more? Lowering the opacity now to 70%. Now, for everybody who has never been here before, y'all are getting to witness the most obnoxious face camera expansion milestone. We're about to hit the Tony Stark helmet cam. Here we go. Expand. Do, 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 do. Alrighty. At this point, the face can't take up more of the screen, but it will keep dropping in opacity every time. We are currently 20 away from the next face camera expansion milestone, and at 60% opacity. So the camera will keep getting bigger, but it'll keep getting more transparent too. So everybody who's tipped up to this point has been making the camera more obnoxious. If you'd like the chance to make the camera less obnoxious, once again, that URL is paypal.me/JoeHills. And tips are also appreciated via YouTube Super Chat. Okay, so we are almost hitting our inventory max here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Monsieur Limpay. No, I was getting the inverse of Cubs. So I wasn't getting half of what Cub had. I was getting 1 over what Cub had. Cub was getting 2.33 diamonds per minute. I was getting 1 diamond every 2.3 minutes. We flipped the units. That's how bad I was at diamond mining the other night. Yeah, so 400 diamonds. Let's see. Let's 400 times 2.3. That would have been 920 minutes to get 400 diamonds, which would have been 15 hours. If I kept getting diamonds at the rate I was getting them, which was admittedly like really a run of bad luck. But yeah, that would have been 15 hours of diamond mining to get the TNT from Jevin that we're getting from like 2 hours of sand. Plus, Jevin doesn't need diamonds to do his next build. He needs sand to do his next build. So, or his next, whatever he's working on, right? So, like, me helping him out with the sand he needs is, like, directly helping him move his show forward. Plus, I get to hang out with y'all and do my show this morning. And so this all worked out really well. But, yeah. So, thank you so much, though, again, to Drew Baca. Thank you for your patience. Yeah. Sometimes PayPal tips have weird delays. I don't know. But, Master Manager says, why does your face fill the whole screen? Basically, when people tip, it goes toward tipping milestones on the abacus here. We're $20 away from the next one. And each time we hit one of those milestones, the camera gets bigger and also slightly more transparent. But you're really experiencing HermitCraft through the eyes of a hermit right now. So I mean, that's a great experience for you. I'm kind of jealous. But yeah, basically the people who pay for the show want the camera that big. And they're the ones who pay for the show. If you disagree with them, you can keep tipping, and the camera will keep getting bigger and more transparent. I mean, at this point, we're already filling the whole screen, but the transparency drops are going to really start making a difference. Hey, morning, Stephanie Hall. We already collected enough sand to pay Jevin for the gunpowder. We're doing a massive TNT excavation, or demolition, at my mega base soon, and we needed to trade Jevin 20 shulker boxes full of sand to get 200 stacks of gunpowder. We have given him his shulker boxes full of sand, but I realized, wow, well, if I gave Jevin all my sand, how am I going to make TNT with the gunpowder he gives me? So we need to get 6 extra boxes of sand to make the TNT. I think we're on, like, number 3 right now. I'll have to check when we get back. But we're doing okay. We are making progress. We're having fun, hanging out, chatting. Master Manager says eventually you'll be invisible, or can we always see you? Well, basically, if we blow through 0% opacity, we'll switch over to the bad camera. But I don't think you'll like the bad camera. You don't want to see that. Okay. So we need to go all the way over here, where I've got my bed. Ah, come on, I almost had it. Almost nailed that little jump there. Superman style, leaping over tall buildings with a single bound. Oh, it looks like we need to trade out our shovel anyway, though, so it's probably a good time for that. Okay, so 1 box almost full of sand. 2nd box is full of sand. 3rd box is now full of sand. We're into our 4th box here, about 1/3 of the way full. Yeah, so I figure once we get all 6 boxes full, I want to start digging out the pilot holes for where the TNT is going to go. Because, like, we got to dig through... So if we're doing, like, stacks of... So 32 TNT per pilot hole. But we're going to be layering the TNT mixed in with leaves or moss or scaffolding or something, right? So that's going to be 64 deep slate in each pilot hole we need to remove. So I think we were going to do something like 20 pilot holes was the math we decided on. So 20 times 64. So that's 1,280 blocks of deep slate we need to mine out manually, which isn't that bad compared to mining out the whole thing. But also, I realized we need to turn up the resolution on the face camera now that it's getting a little larger here. Yay, that looks better. Welcome, Mazer T. Glad you could join us. Da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Dee 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 dee. Dee dee dee. La da 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 da. Da da. Da 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 da. Okay, we're just mining sand and hanging out. Palling around. Mining sand. Do 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 do. Oh. Whatever Tango has confirmed, I'm worried about. Knowing him, he's probably made a mess. There's just oil all over the place. I can really hear those grackles. He stops as soon as I say that and turn up the mic. Thanks, Grackle. We've got the window mic for the birds. The grackles are migrating through right now, so we wouldn't have heard those as much the past few weeks. But like yesterday, they really showed up. Which wasn't really on stream because Quinn was here, so the second mic was on the guitar rather than on the window. Cub was right. Ah. I was pretty sure Cub was going to be right, because Cub is pretty smart. So, Mojang just announced 120 is coming out on June 7th. Cub was right. Writes Alpacatastic in the Discord chat. That's exciting. I think that's a Wednesday, so it'll be like a craft stream day with Cleo. But that's fine, because if Asuma is, like, Asuma doesn't always update the server right away anyway, so it's not like it's going to make a big difference for us. I guess it kind of depends, like, when replay mod and stuff is going to be updated. Because, like, replay mod is kind of so central to what we do now. Most people wouldn't want to update the server until it was ready. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm just like, you know what? Who cares if our frame rates drop because we don't have the new sodium or we can't do replay mod or whatever. As long as voice chat's working. I guess that's the other one that you really need. Voice chat. As long as voice chat's working, like, let's just go. It's okay if our frame rates are worse for a few weeks for, like, the cutting edge videos. But when we wait a while, it feels like kind of weird. Okay. I'm gonna take these chains off. Starting to feel it in my back. I need to do more core muscle exercises, I think. Would there be a server-wide event for the update like in Season 7? Was there a server-wide event update? Or update for the event? What was the Season 7 update event? I don't even remember which update we got in the middle of Season 7. That would have been... gosh. So Season 5 was... Was Season 7 the one where I had the winery? I don't think we did an update. There was another update. Oh, that's right. Yeah. We just rebooted the Nether. I don't think we did a big event, though, did we? To move the world border. Well, the thing is, we didn't, we already moved the world border this season. So, I don't, to get the, ancient cities in with the wardens. Marco says, Joe, any blocker feature you're especially excited for in 120? I am gonna be honest, I haven't looked at it too much. I like to kind of be surprised during gameplay. Like some people, like Asuma, his channel is built around snapshot update videos, right? But for me, I like to just go in fresh and play it. But like that's part of the fun of HermitCraft is that different hermits play the game differently, you know? So I'm sure that there will be stuff that I particularly like, but I haven't looked into it much. Mojang didn't give us like a briefing on this update. Or anything in private. That's usually, if I know something about something, it's like, because Mojang told me. But then I'm like, I don't know if I can talk about this or not, because I don't know which parts that they told me are public knowledge. Because I don't bother with the public knowledge part. NJ says, I need to do my physical therapy when done with work. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, in terms of throwing pinball machines around, I need to work on my core strength. Even though I don't have a machine to practice flipping on, in terms of nudging and stuff, like, I need to build up some arm strength and core muscle strength to be able to throw the machines left and right and nudge and stuff. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, that's one full inventory. So let's go ahead and wander back that way. I was trying to land on the bed, but it wasn't gonna work either way because it wasn't like getting to bedtime. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 complete, and we're working on the 6th one now. You know, we actually have some sand back at my place. Not a lot, though, so we don't even have to completely fill this one. So just out of curiosity, did we ever figure out if the blast resistance of a block affects how strong the force is of the explosion behind that block? Like, if a block has a higher blast resistance and is destroyed, does that diminish how much explosive force hits the block behind it? Or does it just say, hey, if this block isn't destroyed, the block behind it definitely isn't either? Like, does it affect the fall off the explosive force? Because, like, I'm thinking that for the, like, what we've done on our pilot holes in the past with the TNT is we alternated TNT leaves, TNT leaves, TNT leaves. But leaves have, like, a blast resistance of 0.2, and, like, slime has a blast resistance of 0. Yeah, like, does it shield the block behind it? Do leaves shield... Because the leaves are going to get destroyed by the TNT no matter what. But do they slightly diminish the blast force to the block behind it? Versus, like, slime. Should we be using slime blocks? Welcome, Short Stack. Welcome, Eli Fan. Glad you could join us. Okay. Because we don't want our buffer blocks in our pilot holes to be diminishing the force at all. We want all of that force from the TNT happening. But, like, leaves are a lot cheaper than slime blocks. So if we can use leaves, as you saw, we have a ton of leaves that we actually need to dispose of. And disposing of them by using them as TNT scaffolds is logical. Wouldn't they only block vertically so it doesn't matter? Well, that's what I'm curious, though, about, though. Like, do they diminish the overall force of the explosion? Like, even if they're not shielding anything directly behind them, like, does it subtract... Like, does the TNT block start with a certain amount of, like, explosive force, and every time it destroys a block, it subtracts some of that force based on the... Like, I don't know how it's coded, is my point. But, like... The way certain things like this work in D&D, everything that, like, you destroy or, like, every character you put to sleep or whatever, it subtracts the amount of hit points they had or something. Maybe do some testing with a wall of cobble. I don't care enough to do actual testing. If the answer is we don't know, then I'll just do it the way I was going to do it anyway. But if y'all were like, actually, Joe, there's... 8 videos by Asuma myth-busting this. If I was basically asking, are y'all gonna yell at me if I do it my way? Because if y'all are gonna yell at me for doing it my way, I'd rather just do it right from the beginning. But if nobody knows, then nobody knows, and we'll just do it my way. Like, if this is a known... If this is a solved problem, it's a solved problem. If it's not a solved problem, I don't have time to solve it myself. So we're just gonna move on. Okay. Okay, so... Didn't assume would join me earlier. I could ask him in game. He's probably busy. I don't... This is not, like, urgent enough to bother him about. Because the other thing is, if the answer to his question is, I made a video about that, go watch it. I'm not going to go watch it right now. But if y'all have already watched it, I can ask you. See how that works. It's one of those things. Let's grab... Oh, no, I left the rocket box back at my base. So we gotta be a little bit frugal with our rockets on the way out here. It is lunchtime, or it is internet. Someone will always yell at you. Good point. I was gonna say it's also getting close to lunchtime. So I'm gonna have to go make my kid lunch soon. Why don't we do last call for tips? Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Once again, I will not be streaming tonight. I will be streaming tomorrow and Sunday night as usual, but then Monday is off for Memorial Day. So, alrighty. It looks like blocks reduce the force of the explosion. Okay, see, that's what I was guessing. That's what I was guessing. So we probably want to use the slimes. I got like a bajillion slime blocks though. So because of all the slimes from my... I killed a lot of slimes at Doc's when I was helping him with his perimeter project. So I have like shulker or more slime blocks. Can you place scaffolds directly on TNT? Because scaffolds I have even more of than slime blocks. But I'm worried that that might be touchy to place. Scaffold has 0 resistance. Yeah, but I don't know if you can place it on TNT or not. Because, like, you can't place scaffolds on certain types of blocks, like leaves. You might have to shift jump. Yeah. Which is fine. It's one more thing to do. Okay, let's go get to our rockets before we... Wouldn't the scaffold break the moment the TNT becomes an entity? I think that's okay, though, right? Because we're lighting the TNT from the top? Oh, that's actually better, though, because then there's no block resistance anyway. So I think that's fine either way, actually. That's great for us. We're going to put the fireworks box back in here so we have it. Let's go put our sand boxes in our sand chest. Earlier, Relic says your streams are the best. Thank you. Well, thank you for showing up, and thanks to everybody who hung around, lurked, chatted, tipped. Y'all are all appreciated. We're winding down for now, but we're not quite on our way out because we're given a few minutes for the last call for tips to roll in. Okay, so we got our toolbox here. So I was talking about trying to figure out our pilot holes with the extra time we have. So, for example, you know, let's say that we wanted to have one here. This might not be, this might be, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so this is actually not far enough back because of that, where that wall is. Whatever. Yeah. Uh-oh. I am gonna need to pick up that lava. We have buckets, though. And we have iron over... That's not it, actually, but let's grab that while we're here. We left iron up here. Yeah, no, the TNT won't all fire at once because we're gonna let the TNT chain react. It's a lot easier from a redstone standpoint than to try and simultaneously set them all off. Okay, so we can drop off that extra gold and iron. Actually, the gold needs to go in the other box, but somewhere in here we had enough iron to make some more buckets, yeah. So gold can go in our gold box here, so it's all consolidated for the next time we need to trade with Impulse. Impulse loves his raw gold. Okay, so let's make some buckets. 16, that's probably enough for now. Wait, which one of those sandboxes wasn't actually full? One of them was empty, I think, at the end. No? Did we fill all of them? Really? Huh, okay. I was going to say we could use those to carry around the lava, but we can't. Okay, so let's block of iron. Okay, so on our way back down here, tough can go in there. This can go in here. Where is he? There he is. Bye, zombie. I should have grabbed a fireproof potion, but oh wait, no, they're all over here. Okay, so we're gonna move our spawn. We're gonna chug a fireproof potion. And yeah, we're just gonna start going for it here. And drop off these extra blocks in here. And we'll put those in there for now. Put that in here for now. Take the sand and dirt out here. Let's not waste the fireproof potion. We have definitely can grab 16 here. Okay. Okay. Now, how many do we have left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, that was too many. Womp womp. Yeah, we'll just put those extra lava buckets over here for right now. And this one. So we can always use those as fuel for our furnace later. We're gonna have some other places with some lava here too. Whoops. Womp womp. Luckily we have a lot of iron. Okay. Boy, those guardians are just not letting me have a chill time. Okay. Oh, that's why I didn't throw away all the iron, because I was gonna need more of it to make extra buckets. I get that now. Okay. Okay, so we'll let that ease up a little bit there. We should probably just actually mine our way up here real quick. I feel like this is getting us into where the lava should be. Oh, too high actually, huh? That's always refreshing. Oh yeah, I've got a fireproof for you. Why am I gasping? It's fine. Okay. Well, that's all that then. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get carried away. Okay, I think I just plugged this part up at this point. Because I'm not sure how much further this way I really need to go. Not really at all. Like, most of the directionality of what I need is to go further this way. And it's not like I've been hitting lava. Let's just do a random pilot hole here. How much fire resistance we got? 3 minutes, yeah. We got enough rockets to fly back out, too. Cave noises. Okay, that's promising. Delg says, sweet, work is shutting down early so I can hit the gym before hitting the road. Have a great weekend, y'all. Hey, Delg, have a great holiday weekend yourself. Keep adventuring. Have I thought about using a dispenser rather than stacking TNT? No, because how would that even work? Wouldn't the TNT blow up? Like, before... Like, the TNT isn't gonna last Like, this is too deep a pit for that, I think. Like, if I put a TNT dispenser right here at the top of the... It wouldn't make it down to the bedrock. And we're making a pretty big hole. I am very expanded. Thank you for noticing, Sunflower. And we can get one more already. Moving the dispensers when needed would be a quick job, though. Yeah, but I think it looks cooler to... Like, there's a certain element of spectacle to making a show like this. Like, to some degree, if it looks cooler on YouTube, if I blow the whole hole up at once, I kind of want to do that, right? I feel like I do. Oh, yeah, we need to get more... Which is one of the reasons I'm like, let's get all the pilot holes sorted. Like at the point where we're getting... That's why I wanted to get all the sand up front, too. Because if I get all the sand up front, and I dig all the pilot holes up front, and then we just come in and we just put all the TNT in. Now, it is possible we might accidentally set it off early or whatever, like, and have half of it go up. But, I mean, even that would be amusing in a way that, like, just moving a dispenser around doesn't feel like as visually satisfying. There's a rule of cool here. Yeah, Sonic Warrior gets it. Tam says we're here for explosions and mayhem. Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. And burnt lava buckets. Okay. Well, we're going to have enough lava for our furnaces for a while. That's good. How are we on that? 24 seconds of fire resistance. That's fine for now. Did I bring an extra fire resistance potion? I did not. But I've got a totem, if the worst case. I don't want to waste those, because they're not as easily renewable as some of the other stuff, but... Okay, there's the fire resist. At the same time that burnt out, so... Yeah, only one side of the bucket's fireproof, Monsieur Limpe. Okay. So, we need to grab fireproof potion and more buckets. Okay. Put the extra bottle in there for later. Oh, I didn't even realize there was a cave over there. I've been so focused on the lava part of this. Whoops. Dang it. I don't want to just waste the lava. I want to take it with me for furnaces in the future, because we're going to always have a lot to smelt in this. When you're working at this scale, you don't want to waste fuel. Can we turn the bucket inside out to make fireproof armor? Great suggestion. Man, it would make this game a lot harder if you could only make lava buckets out of netherite. Hey, Robert Louis Matthews. Currently, yeah, the lava will eventually be for our super furnace. Right now, though, we are just making room for pilot holes. We're gonna try and blast a hole down to bedrock, basically as big as this subwoofer cutout, and make this our grand entrance to our mine. But that's like a whole thing. So I just traded Jevin 20 shulkers full of sand for 200 stacks of gunpowder. So we're going to be making a lot of TNT, but I can't place the TNT if I'm going to be bumping into lava on my way down, right? So right now we're clearing out any lava in our path. Yeah, there is a dog outside somewhere. You're correct. Oh, dang it. was not as careful as I could have been there with my footing. Okay, and we're not out of buckets yet. We are going to be soon, though. Dang it. Okay. Nope, not using TNT duping. Just I'm trading with Jevin for 200 stacks of gunpowder. I just gave him 20 shulkers full of sand. Each shulker has 27 stacks of sand. So he got a lot of sand out of the deal, and I'm getting a lot of TNT out of the deal. So I think it should be a worthwhile exchange for both of us. Okay. So I need to go get more iron, though, to make... Because we're actually already out of buckets. How do I know Jevin didn't dupe the TNT? Well, for one thing, he's not giving me TNT. He's giving me gunpowder. And he has a creeper farm. So, creeper farms aren't for duping gunpowder. They're for gathering gunpowder. So, okay. Yeah, where was I? Grabbing the iron to get... Saucefire raiding with a party of 14. Welcome, Saucefire Raiders. Welcome, Krizikon. Welcome, JD Lady. I appreciate the Saucefire raid. We are currently preparing to do a large-scale demolition. We're not going to have time to actually blow anything up this episode, but basically, as deep as this pit is, we're going to have this entire cavern here go down to bedrock. In order to do that, though, we spent most of the stream gathering materials to barter for 200 stacks of gunpowder. And now that we have sent those off to my friend, who will hopefully get me the gunpowder sometime in the next day or two, because he's got a really productive creeper farm, we are clearing out all of the lava and water that is going to be in the way of our pilot holes. We're going to have about 20 holes that we're going to fill with stacks of TNT. And like, if those holes were going to intersect like a lava lake like this, we need to pull the lava out to use for smelting later. That's also dark back there, so I'm kind of curious, like, if there's mobs and stuff. Probably is. I hear mobs. How big is this cave back here? It's kind of big. Not huge. Oh. Yeah, if only we had a way to light it up. That's pretty large. Large enough. I can see some light down there. But this is going to be outside of our blast zone, so we can leave that lava there. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Okay. Got a demo to Reno, says Saucefire. Yeah, so as you can see, we've gathered a lot of lava already. The scale of most of my projects is large at this point. Uh-oh. Fell a little bit too far there. We can grab... Should be the end of it there. Okay, so that'll drain on its own now. So we need to work on a few other kind of pilot holes to figure out where we're going to have problems along those lines. We're going to have some possible water issues over here. I could probably come in with a few sponges and take care of this relatively easy. I just don't have them on me right now. Okay, so we have a pilot hole there. We're looking at like maybe another one here then. Oh! Wow. That's a lot of diamonds. That's cool. That worked out well. Some of these pilot holes are going to be a little bit exposed to the air there. Johan says, what is with your face camera? Oh, when people tip, the face camera gets bigger. We're actually currently 20 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. I've actually already done the last call for tips. I was actually about to go get lunch, but then we got a raid and I got distracted. But I'm very excited that the raiders are here. So we're just going to do a little bit more. Okay. So we can put our excess fire in there. Put those diamonds in here so we don't lose them. Let's grab another fire resistance potion just in case we need that. Drop off these rocks and stuff. Yeah, the camera gets bigger. Am I winning? I like to think so. Okay. So we did a pilot hole here and a pilot hole here. I feel like I need to mark these somehow so I can find them easier later. But, like, maybe I don't. Maybe it's fine. Okay. So we would have another one here. We're only going to do TNT as high up as the deep slate level. It's not worth it. To bother with the stuff that I could just use with the haste beacon. Okay, so we just go straight down, dig straight down. Oh, I'm actually out of fireproof potion now. So, probably should chug that real quick. Okay, so we come up out of there, and then we're going to want another pilot hole about here. The nice thing is I still got the haste beacon, even though it's not insta-break or whatever. I've got the haste beacon on the way down. And it takes about as long to get all the way down as the haste beacon takes to break. We can plow through the tuff faster with it anyway. And then we're down here. Just drop that in. And then we dig straight, or fly straight up. So we'll need about 20 of these pilot holes. We just did 4 of them. They don't take long, as you can see. And then we'll get the TNT in there, and we'll have some real explosive fun. Okay, let's do a manual check of PayPal to make sure no tips rolled in last minute that we didn't get to acknowledge. Because sometimes they don't show up on the computer, only on the app. And I'm not sure why that is. Like, for some reason, the app gets refreshes faster. But nope. Okay, we're good. Cool. Here we go. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. How far over? Should we maybe have some further that way? Maybe. Maybe. Should probably kind of clear these out so the area around the pilot holes is even more so we can see where they are better. I don't know. Maybe. Oh no, that's going to be it. Yeah, this is that same area I was complaining about earlier. Boo areas. Water. I don't want to deal with the water right now. Because, yeah, water will really mess up your TNT game. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go straight down. Welcome, Tyrannosaurus. Glad you could join us. I just want to get this project as far along as I can before I go. Because once I get that TNT, I'm going to want to blow it all up. Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to do that on tomorrow night's stream. I'm not streaming tonight because I got some family plans with my daughter and sister. But I am going to be streaming tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. That's 8:30 in the evening. U.S. Central Time. I'm going to be streaming again Sunday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. And I will be taking Monday off because it's a federal holiday here in the United States. Alrighty. Let's see. We can do one more. We've got one more pork chop here, so I might as well do one more pilot hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 5. Pork chop, cooked mutton. Oh no, because I didn't expose the stars above, or the sky above. I can't see anything. We got no daylight here. We do still have fireproof potion if we accidentally hit lava. The big thing is if I hit lava, I want to do that before I get the TNT so I can clean it all up. Okay. It's probably safe to fly back out of that hole. We just got to be smart about it. That was not the smartest. But the core concept functioned. Probably should have put... I was like, I should put redstone torches above these holes so I know that what they're for. But then I'm like, no, that's gonna... The redstone's gonna set off the TNT while I'm trying to place it. That's nightmare situation. Don't use redstone torches on this. Soul torches! I was like, if only there was a blue torch I could use as a signal. Okay, we'll come back to this project soon. We have made a great start here. Let's go ahead and see who else is streaming that we can raid. Ooh, it looks like our pal Asuma is streaming. We haven't raided Asuma for a while. And he's supposedly working at Pearls, so we can actually go over there and scream, "Howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here" at him. Oh no, I don't have enough rockets. Let's get more rockets, and then let's go scream at Asuma. Not, like, actually enough to damage headphones, but, like, yeah. Core concept. It's more fun. Because he's like, in the neighborhood right over here. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Uh-oh. Why is it not going? Oh, we can't actually raid him until... Where is he? Is it in this building? Is it down here? Whoa. Where is he? How do you assume a Joe Hills right here?
Joe! Jesus! Oh, Joe!
I gotcha. Bye, X.
You
Have a
did
good
get
stream.
me.
I gotcha.
Thanks. You did get me. Is that it? Just give me a heart attack and
Thanks.
go. Is
Yeah.
that it? Just
Well, you know
give
what?
me a heart
You
attack
can have
and
some
go.
rockets too. Yeah. Bye.
Thanks.
You know what? You can
Feels
have some
slightly
rockets,
better.
too.
Thanks.
Bye.
I mean, I feel slightly better. That really ruffled my feathers. Oh, that really ruffled my feathers. Joe, thank you so much for the raid.